That should be live. I'll wait for it to tick over. Make sure the sound sounds okay. Ping the Discord with the stuff. And then I'll explain what the hell. I don't know if that one counts. You said you were live! That should be live. Alright, good. We have the right mic and stuff. I'll explain the quote-unquote poll in a second. I'll also explain what we're doing here. So, if you are well connected in the Total War multiplayer community, then you probably know this event's been going on, the BBB Season 1 tournament. They have a lot of prizes out there. It was a best-of-5 Swiss tournament, pretty sweaty tryhard. I got knocked out in the play-in stage, I guess you would call it. Yeah, you haven't seen a ton of it on this channel because it was Swiss, and I'm generally not very good at casting Swiss stuff. I don't know whether to make it a live stream and then cast like 5 replays, but what if it was a 3-0? I don't know. Do I cast my games live? Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. It's not my format. I generally like brackets. We have gotten into the playoff portion. The top 12 are here. I don't know if I'm supposed to be showing a bracket or anything like that. Anybody from BBB that can pipe up, am I supposed to be showing a bracket or not? I don't know how much of that's legit. But this is one thing. I gotta pull up the bracket so I can even talk about where we are, because this is like a quarterfinal, right? Yeah. So this is a quarterfinal between BBB's El Chef and Lenorm. We did see Lenorm on stream recently. Actually, the scorecard should still be at the top, yeah. I cast him as replays yesterday with Tactical Itch in the ODM top 4 for their tournament. And he did done lose to Alfredino. We'll see if BBB's El Chef can repeat that performance or if Lenorm will have a bit of revenge. I believe Lenorm is the only DBD folk in this playoffs. What up, Zypher? Swiss like Switzerland, or what do you mean? Like you play... So at the start of the tournament, right? Start of the tournament. Players 1, 2, 3, and 4 play. Players 1 and 2 face each other. Players 3 and 4 face each other. And let's say 1 and 3 win. In the next week, 1 and 3 will fight each other. And 2 and 4 will fight each other because they both lost. Now it's that across the entire tournament. So it's like, if you lose game 1, you'll play someone else who lost their first one. If you win game 1, you'll face someone else who won game 1. In week 3, if your score is now 1 and 1, you won 1, you lost 1, it'll probably pair you with someone else who's won 1, lost 1, that sort of thing. And then at the end of a set amount of time, I think they did 8 weeks. It was just whoever had the best win-loss record. They took the top 12, chucked them up into a bracket, and here we are. Yeah, you can show it? All right, Cool Umbrella's giving me the go-ahead. That is easier to talk about than theoreticals. So here we are. Here's a bracket. I know Cool Umbrella and Cal Harmon has been playing on a different channel. I saw the Sentencia and Strat game was posted on other channels. So they're kind of trying to spread it out, get a bunch of different audience, get eyes on it. We are here with the top 1 of the first area, El Chef and Lenorm. I had talked to the BBB organizing crew about Sunday casting a best of 5, but then that was with Scroot and San Lomueta. But then they have to do it on Saturday, so they got somebody else to do that. We might still cast something on Saturday. I mean, Sunday, if they have something going on, we'll find out. I don't know. It's loose scheduling because, like, best of 5s take a while, so it's hard to sit down and have the time to do them all in one day or anything, so they've just been having the people schedule them as they are able, which is sort of what's happening right now. I think that's all I really have to announce about that. Yeah. Pretty standard best of 5. Lane battle stuff. It is live, so no replays today. Got a ping. Why did I get a ping? Oh, okay. Domination tournament. Got it. El Chef will hopefully be here soon. Cannot vote in this poll because I can't do a human voice self-censoring. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, So one, none ya business. But two, for reasons I can't possibly go into, I do need to practice not swearing during streams or saying anything profane or untoward for reasons. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it, see if I'm up to the task. And if I'm not up to the task, then I better be up to the task because things are going to get pretty concerning regarding things and stuff. Being a potty mouth gets you uninvited from certain parties. I don't want to be uninvited from certain parties. Now, to all of you out there worrying, I'm just seeing how hard it is to get through a stream without randomly, accidentally swearing and not noticing it. This is not like, for the rest of my channel's future, we will never curse. It's just, I'm doing a trial run this time. All right, El Chef's here. Can we curse in the chat to make up for it? Sure, I don't care. I'm just trying to practice and make sure that if I tell myself I'm not going to swear, I don't randomly let them slip during games. And if I do let them slip during games, you people got to let me know. Because we got to work on that. I'm only supposed to swear when I intend to swear. You can't just let them roll off. That would be a problem. All right. We have El Chef. I did ask the players for their picks so that we have something to talk about when they do builds. It looks like Lenorm picked... No, El Chef picked first. He went High Elves. So this... Oh, sorry. This tournament's format is pick 1, ban 3. Okay. So El Chef picked High Elves, banned Skaven, Ogre Kingdoms, and Dark Elves. Lenorm's going Warriors of Chaos. That's weird. Lenorm plays a lot of High Elves. As far as... I mean, he plays almost anything, but the stuff he plays very proficiently is High Elves and Zinj. Kind of surprised he went to Warriors of Chaos versus High Elves. That doesn't feel that great for them right now. It's not bad. It's just an even matchup. I think there are better things to play into High Elves. But it could be, you know, his faction pool, too, weighing in. Maybe he doesn't play some of the stuff that I think's better into High Elves. Let's see. High Elves ban Ogre Kingdom, Skaven, and Dark Elves. Trying to think. I'll read chat in a second. I'm trying to finish this thought. What would I play into High Elves over Warriors of Chaos? Because they're fine. Oh, Empire feels okay there. Yeah, they feel fine. I've been having a ton of fun with Lizardmen recently, even versus High Elves, actually. Bretonnia feels pretty strong. I almost beat Black Knight with it but last night, but I messed up some key stuff. And my Enchantress couldn't kill a stupid Lifecaster. But in general, Bretonnia is pretty good against High Elves, especially after the buffs. I'm trying to think. I guess outside Bretonnia and Empire, there aren't that many strong picks. I think that's one of the reasons High Elves is so high on the tier list right now. Is not that they counter anybody particularly hard. It's just that they're fine. They're fine in so many matchups. Yeah. I guess thinking about it, Dwarves is okay. Wait, why not Chaos Dwarves? That wasn't banned. Why not Chaos Dwarves? They're pretty good against High Elves. High Elves can bring Fate Up Una, but can bring a bunch of cheap stuff. Bull Centaur Renders will go absolutely nuts. Weird. Weird. I don't like it. Okay, what are we doing? Swearing is soulful, don't sell your soul. What does BBB stand for? Someone answered it later on, but it was true. Hey, Thearden Gaming. How you doing, man? You do have your own YouTube channel. It has some pretty cool hype videos in there. If anybody wants to check that out. Managing standard. Can view and remove chat messages. Sure. Thero, if you're still there, you can plug your channel. you should have the capabilities of posting a link, but he has those like cool hype videos with like music and really badass shots of battles in them. It's pretty fun. He's fun. Slaanesh is the best faction in the game. That is a horrible lie. Do you have any faction recommendations for new players? Normally I'd recommend dwarves, but dwarves are so just god-awful boring right now that I don't think you even want to play them. But dwarves for high leadership is fine. Tomb Kings is actually a really good starting one right now, because their undead capacity means that you don't have to chase down routing units all the time and get them back into the fight. They'll just crumble where they stand. But also a lot of their strength comes from just spamming their lore passive. Just straightforward. Heal up your units. They have some good melee rush, some decent cavalry options, good ranged options. Yeah. Tomb Kings, Khorne, Dwarves. Those are three pretty safe ones. Khorne, you won't win a lot of games, but they are straightforward. Go kill that guy. Don't die in the process. I am a mod. You are. I'll be a Dowie main. Slaanesh defo ain't the best faction in the game. That's a hot take. Yeah, Slaanesh took a pounding after that last patch. And not the kind of pounding they usually prefer. Like a bad pounding. Alright, let's see what the Warriors of Chaos have cooking up against High Elves. Traditionally, one of your biggest assets against High Elves is just Chaos Warrior spam. High Elves don't have the best armor-piercing infantry that's in a normal price bracket. Like, they have Swordmasters of Hoeth, but for 1,300 gold, that's not exactly a great price bracket. You have to kill 2 Chaos Warriors of each Swordmaster and not get Fate of Bunid, which is a very popular spell right now. So Chaos Warriors can generally push through the High Elf front line. Now with the buffs to Martial Mastery and Martial Prowess, I don't know if Chaos Warriors really have the melee attack to get through Spearman melee defense. Because what is it? It's 42. And with Martial Prowess, oh, and Silver and Guard, that's up to 64. Wait, 54. Maths. It could be difficult to crush your way through a High Elf spear line. The Warriors of Chaos will try. Anyway, Lenore already lost this game because he took a goddamn hell cannon. I heard it. I heard it. Shush. He took a hell cannon, which are just objectively terrible. Swearing bad, innuendo good. I mean, that was not my fault. No, definitely not strongest. Yeah. Slaanesh is not very good. All right. So we have the Soul of Damnation, ROR Hell Cannon. Its accuracy is still extremely sus, but we'll see if it's enough to actually get through the High Elves of Elshef. 2 Exalted Heroes on Manticores. Haven't seen a lot of that recently. Curious why he brought them. We do have a Chaos Sword of Tzeentch. Now, I did mention he is a Tzeentch player, so he's a big old fan of Blue Fire of Tzeentch, though I bet he's missing Kairos' regrowth right about now. Is the foliage there? Yeah. 3 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, probably to serve as a deterrent against a large Dragon Lord from diving down and killing anything that he ever wants to. And only 1 dog. I do worry that the High Elves scatter. Their super high leadership will bring them back to the fight, and you'll have Lada and Seaguard just trickling in the late game, so I would like maybe more dogs. Anyway, finishing out the build, Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh with Hell Scourges, and then the Mirror Guard, which is just another Chaos Warrior of Slaanesh thing. So it's just all Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh and Marauders. I'm concerned. I do not love this Chaos build. I'm thinking it lacks the significant stopping power to actually get through the High Elf front line, so I think they're just going to get shot slowly. We'll see if that's true, but I'm worried. Triple Layer and Reaver Archer for the High Elves. A little bit of skirmish presence. Their DPS is extremely low, but they do function as plenty reasonable light cavalry in the late game, especially without their ammo. So just take the ammo as an added bonus. They're mostly functioning as a dog-type unit. In the sky, we do have a Dragon Lord, though it's not Imric. Oh, gosh. It is putting both things together. Fate of Buna plus dragons. Now, this is a dragon without any form of healing whatsoever. I find that a little odd. But I can appreciate the strength of Fate of Buna. I mean, it's in every game, and it's so strong. This makes sense. Other than that, white lines of Cray, Sloth and Sea Guard, Spearmen, Silver and Guard, more archers. Archers, spears, and some armor-piercing infantry with Fate of Buna to take care of anything particularly problematic. The High Elves are just going to want to walk up, start shooting, and wait for the game to end. Put $1 in the jar? No. Every 5 swears I'll donate $5. Every time you swear you have to admit elves are better than Skaven folk? Oh, that's some motivation right there. Elves are stinky. Do you know how hard it is to talk about elves without swearing? I just realized as I had to hard pivot the end of that sentence to be stinky. Look at these little Zeech bolts. We're coming. We're gonna get you. We're coming. Just you wait. They're not gonna catch them. There they go. I love their little twisty twirly tails. Anyway, the Hell Cannon's actually trying to fire into the Illyrian Reavers, which is an interesting choice. I guess it's more likely to hit something that's spread out rather than the thin High Elf spear lines. I could see them just missing it entirely, which would be the big sad. But I also don't know if you're particularly scared of 3 Illyrian Reaver archers. I don't like it. I don't like the Hell Cannon. More Illyrian Reavers bite the dust. We've lost 7 models so far. And the Hell Cannon is going absolutely nuts in the background. Oh god, this is so hard. Okay. I'm Mr. Teufel. Oh. Alright, Teufel. Alright. Ouch, that was a nasty blue fire. I suppose this type of dragon doesn't have the fire resist I'm used to seeing on Imric. So that blue fire of Zeech isn't mitigated by a whole lot. Is that a Fate of Buna or a Spirit Leech onto the Soul of Damnation that did that much? And that one's not my fault, it's its name. That one's its name. That's not my fault. I am quoting the name. The Soul of Damnation. It's there, it's on the screen. It's not even my fault. The Hell Cannon landing hits, what a sight. Spoke a little too soon there. I hate that thing. I hate the Hell Cannon so much. Even the ROR rarely figures out how to hit stuff. Oh wow, it hit something! That's amazing! What is actually amazing is this Archmage of Death getting whooped on in the sky. Double Exalted Heroes on their Manticores, keeping her rather honest. I do wonder how these lads would perform versus Imric. But it looks like they're equally happy to not see Imric. They're rolling over her right now. She's at half HP, no healing on her roster whatsoever, so that's the hell she gets. And her health pool is rather sizable, though down to just 5,000. She's roughly as tanky as these Manticore characters, who are chasing her over the archers. Bold, because you can't dodge at that close range. So they are going to take a decent amount of damage. She is landing, though, without Silver Helms or Dragon Princes or anything of the like, any form of mass whatsoever. These Exalted Heroes can pretty freely dive down onto her, get some damage out, and if they get surrounded by spears, they can walk away. There's nothing to keep them in a fight, so I think actually Lenorm's pretty happy to just chase her to the ground, and he does. El Chef throws down a quick little Fate of Buna onto the Mirror Guard. They're relatively elite units, so might as well get them out of the way, but yeah. I think both players are fine with that. Fine losing the Mirror Guard, fine getting a Fate of Buna off onto our ROR. Did that Hell Cannon just hit the Dragon Lady when it was trying to hit the Lothern Sea Guard? I'm counting that as a miss. I refuse to take that as a hit. Okay, you can't miss this shot. It's right down the line. It's a perfect angle. You got it, 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 you got it. How did you miss? How? How did you miss that? What is wrong with you? Spirit Leech and Blue Fire, both sides attempting a Lord Snipe. One is onto heroes, though, and the Illyrian Reaver archers do smack straight into the Soul of Damnation. They are tired of its nonsense, as triple Marauder Horsemen kind of pile around, not really knowing what to do with themselves, as the Illyrian Reavers kill some Chaos Dwarves, who are in the game now. So they're not even a weird meme DLC thing anymore. They're actually just in the game, getting killed by Illyrian Reavers. Exalted Hero still chasing the Archmage around, but she does manage to evade them for a moment. The Exalted Heroes need new orders to get away. Oh, these Marauder Horsemen are really blobbed up, though. There's not like a big spell to punish them or anything. It's just not an effective use of their time. Dogs are also gonna run in, and at least they can fit between the Horsemen. and like really inundate the area, get a lot of damage out, and push these Illyrian Reavers away. They are still high elves though. They get their they get the martial prowess. They get plus 12 melee defense as long as their health is above a certain point. Once it wears off, they'll fall significantly lower in health and die, but for a while they'll hold strong. 2 more blue fires and this Archmage is dead. Probably 1 more and she routs, but I expect we'll have 2 more coming her way. And she even busts out another Fate of Buna on another Chaos Warrior, this one of Slaanesh. Just trying to get the spells out before it dies. Here's the first blue fire. Is Hummus Boy right? Close. There we go. 1 and she's routing. I'm right so far. The next one has to kill her or I'm a big dumb stupid head. Dogs chase off the Illyrian Reavers. One of the other Illyrian Reavers is being kept at bay by those 3 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. The Soul of Damnation is back online. 1 out of 1 models, meaning it is actually in firing position. All this being said, sure, the High Elf Lord is getting sniped. Lenormand is up about 2,000 on damage value. But I'm still concerned about the actual win condition in this game. Like, sniping out the High Elf Lord. Here's the second blue fire. Does it kill her or am I a big dumb stupid? It kills her! He's the smartest man in the whole universe! It's Human Boy! Ah! And the crowd goes wild! Ah! And Hazel's wondering what's going on! Ah! And why were you barking at your brother, by the way? Stop it. Stop barking at your brother. Alright. Besides me being a mega genius, you killed the Dragon Lord. Congratulations. There's no more Lord. There's no more spell casts, no more breath attacks, whatever. Yada, 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 yada. Mega genius aside, this is still a problem. That's a lot of very elite high elf infantry. But some of them are spearmen. Even spearmen are elite when you're talking about high elves. They are pushing through the last of your front line. There's not a lot left here, you guys. There's a couple Marauders. There's the Soul of Damnation trying to get out its last couple shots. There's 2 Exalted Heroes, each at half HP without much healing. And there is a Tzeentch Sorcerer that apparently just deletes a White Lion of Christ with 1 cast of blue fire down the side. So that is nice. I'm still overall very concerned. We have 3 Marauder Horsemen Cav and a half health dog. All of these things aren't feeling the hottest, and if the High Elves keep some archers alive, they should be able to take care of them. So I don't think this game is over for El Chef, not by a long shot. Though the start has been nice for the Chaos. You would want a Dragon Lord to be dead. I'm not saying that's not worthwhile, but I'm still spooked. So all your little Chaos Warriors are dead. And you need them to grind through Spearmen. More blue fire, hits more Lothern Seaguard, though that angle, it looks like El Chef dodged into it by like facing square up with that guy rather than giving him a sidelong angle, and then it hits a lot less people. Chaos Warriors clutching to last bits of their leadership as they get side charged by Spearmen. That might just tip them over the line. They continue forward. Chef probably has to turn around at least 1 archer to just give a little bit of volley fire, and then that will cause their leadership to spike down enough that they'll run away. But it looks like for now he's actually just going to accept it. Halves it down on the balance of power a little bit. I would tend to agree. Spearmen fighting Marauders. Another blue fire. What is it aiming at? Goes right up some Lothern Seaguard. Nice damage to them. They almost rout. We could get into Exalted Heroes with Manticores just terror routing everything territory. We do have 1 Lothern Seaguard run off. Where's that dog unit? There he is. He's going to be busy. That's going to be a very busy dog. Meanwhile, White Lions sprint straight into Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. The Marauder Horsemen just use their bodies to protect the Soul of Damnation. And the White Lion's like, fine, we'll kill you too. And then when they leave, the Soul of Damnation sit there like, wait, guys! Oh yeah, right, we were protecting something. And they dive back in to keep the White Lions off of the Soul of Damnation. Another blue fire hits the Silvering Guard, though they do have some spell resistance, 30%. Doesn't do nearly as much damage to them as it did to some of the other units. Chaos is pulling further ahead. We do have a real rallying of Chaos Warriors and Marauders and all this stuff the Hives are going to have to deal with. Lothern Seaguard could be able to push them off. We'll see. But that blue fire is doing a lot more work versus infantry than I thought it would. Some good side angles for sure from Lenormand, but still, it's just kind of it's a bit of a cracked spell that's gone unnoticed in recent days. Tzeentch has kind of fallen from favor. Manticores land, they terror out off a Lothern Seaguard, and meanwhile some big arrow fire comes in. Can we get a chain route? 1 Marauder goes, he tips the other Marauder, low, but it's not low enough. He's gonna hang on for now. If he goes, the Mirror Guard might also go. If the Mirror Guard go, that should make him go for sure. All right, so Chaos's backfield resurgent all of a sudden falls apart as all of them go, you good, bro? And down the line, they say no, and they all run away. But a huge blue fire takes half health off a Lothern Seaguard. Wow. All right. Silver and Guard continue to push forward. Skirmish Cap dive up once again, and Lenorm has kited back with the Hell Cannon. It is going to fire. It is going to do stuff. It's done 1,300 value, which is, I think, paying for itself plus a little bit. Big shot, big money, no whammies. If you do any whammies, the Chaos is definitely going to lose this game. Oh, and so close. So close. What is he? 30, 40 miles away? You can't be expected to hit those. You can't. You can't be expected to hit those. But second time is the charm. Oh, and you missed again. But the High Elves dodged. I don't care if they dodged. You're a magical homing demon weapon. You hit those. Fire again. Does it hit this time? Yes, it does. And Chaos wins the game because the Hell Cannon hit one of its shots for once. Oh, the game's not over magically? That's strange. Holy crap, it fires again. I will admire its tenacity here. And it misses at like point blank range. But like the fact that it's still firing while under this much duress. I mean, I'll give it the credit it deserves. Has the Chaos Sorcerer Lord used a Sword of Change? Ooh, no, this game's over. Okay. Yeah, Chaos probably wins it. They have a full Chaos Spawn Summon just waiting in the back pocket, and that's going to be brutal in the late game. Soul of Damnation is still firing out, and everybody's forgotten about it. Oh, they all left it. No one sees little Steve, Gary, and Michael piloting the Soul of Damnation. They're still firing because the little flag is way out of position from that like cannon bug. So the High Elves might not even know. They send some Silver and Guard back now. They're like, wait, hold on. Hold on, that thing's still shooting at us. And there's the Chaos Spawn Summon. It is going to rout both of these archers pretty quickly, maybe even that Lothern Sea Guard. And with the Soul of Damnation firing in and getting, honestly, a huge hit, we could be getting close to Army Loss's territory. As the mass rout comes in, it'll just cause all of them to rout at the same time, and that'll be GG. And there it is. The late game Chaos Spawn Summon, jeez. The Hell Cannon did alright. It missed a lot of shots it shouldn't have missed, but that's my own issue with it. This is a pretty close game. The Dragon Lord of Death was not expecting to deal with two Exalted Heroes on Manticores. That was a pretty out of left field build decision, but it definitely paid off. So she was constantly under harassment that she wasn't ready for. White Lions and Silver and Guard didn't get a lot of kills or damage value, but they were there. They were around. They did stuff. Lothern Sea Guard did okay. Illyrian Reaver Archers were actually very annoying. That's some of the better value I've seen them get in recent weeks. And basic Archers did well. Superman did okay. Zinj Caster, 2,200 from his blue fire spam. The Chaos Spawn Summon won't count towards his value, but it was pretty crucial in ending the game. Exalted Heroes did fine. Their value isn't going to show it, but we all saw what they did. They kind of dominated the battlefield. 1,700 value on the Soul of Damnation is quite good. Good for you, little buddy. Good for you. I'll still continue to hate you until the end of time, but for now, you take victory this day. Chaos Warriors, mixed value. 2 of them got Fate Abunted, and Dogs and Skirmish Cab did fine. So, GG. Why the Hell Scourges? They do poison now. And higher melee defense, but outside of that, no idea. All right. I'm out of a beverage. This sucks. Soul of Tarnation. Glowing Zinj trying to get the big right face, you're just baiting me. Hi, Mr. Joyful. Anyone tried the Hell Cannon 3.0? I haven't, but watching that looks about the same as it usually did. It just for some reason misses about half of its shots. Is it live or replays? Live. You can see them right there. There they are in all their glory. Also on a stream, I'm not supposed to be swearing. DBD Sulfur Crested Cockatoo and the auto censor software that Warhammer 3 has filtered out the first part of his name. Cyrus, that combination of activities in that order was probably not great for you. Correct. Maybe the few hits he landed was manually fired? That's probably it, dude. That's probably it. Cuden, I guess, and you're better at Warriors of Chaos than I am. I would think that you'd want as much melee attack as possible to bust through the Heil front line and get to their back line, but I suppose with this build, he was just buying time for his cannon. Alright, what are the next picks? El Chef banned Dark Elves. Lenormand's going High Elves. Banned Dark Elves, Skaven, and Empire. Alright, so we have another High Elf game. Another High Elf game where they're banning Dark Elves and Skaven, though this time Lenormand banned Empire. My recommendations still stand. I think Lizardmen are plenty strong versus High Elves. Empire was one of my recommendations. What was the third one? I feel like there was a third one. There's too many factions in this game now. This game sucks. Well, let's add a bunch of factions to the game so people can play and have fun. No, it's stupid. Just have one. Just have one faction. I don't know. Call it something different. Like, one faction, same time period. Let's call it Total War Shogun. Yeah. Total War Shogun. But then to make people think it's cool, just throw a 2 on there. Total War Shogun 2. That's what we're playing now. You going to sleep? Yeah, that's pretty late at night, Thero. Go to bed! Go to bed! Zypher, do you have any coaching channels on your Discord? Yeah. We have some. We have the Hell Pit area. It's a new player league, and there's coaches there ready to help you out with stuff. We do have that. We are hosting a newbie tournament this Saturday on Total Tavern. That already has 16 signups, maybe 17 at this point. So we have tons of resources for newer players. Chaos Dwarves? Oh, yeah. Chaos Dwarves is pretty even. Magma Cannons are kind of insane. Into High Elves, their tightly packed formations can take a lot of damage there. And they're dwarves, so their stalwart frontline can take a long time to get through in melee. Especially if you box. Greenskins. I still struggle really heavily with greenskins against Imric. Imric raffle stamps my whole army. I'll surround him with Boar Boy Biggins, give him a Wah, give him Fists of Gork. They have 10 million melee attack. They still manage to hit Imric like 3 times and he just walks out of it. Or kills them all. 2 Shogun War total. Probably not eligible for that league, I'd assume. You can talk to Cuden about it. It's his league. I just do some of the casting. You saw a Reddit post on Noob Tournament? Yeah, I did that. Trying to spread the word. What does El Chef go with? It appears he's still thinking. Still scheming. Humo's using Reddit now? I've always used Reddit, just not for promoting stuff. Now I'm trying to. You know what's funny? Is if you post, like, a tournament or a stream or something on Reddit, I find it funny how many downvotes you'll get. I think it wasn't this one, but one of the things I posted, it was about a tournament with, it was the simplified land battle rules tournament where it's just like, hey, just pretty much come play quick battles in this tournament. You might get it on stream. It was like 33% downvotes. Don't know why. Make a league for elderly people? That sounds like a lot. Oh, he's doing it! El Chef's going for Ogre Kingdoms. All right. There's 5 ways to play this as Ogre Kingdoms. There's 5 ways to play this as Ogre Kingdoms. You ready for all 5? Double Stonehorn, cycle charging over and over again. Wave 2, double Stonehorn, cycle charging over and over again. Wave 3, double Stonehorn, cycle charging over and over again. Wave 4, double Stonehorn charging over and over, stopping, taking a breather, charging them again. And wave 5, losing the game. Those are the 5 ways the ogres can play this. Now, if you go with methods 1 through 4, you have to be worried about the high elves winning anyway. And that is a bit of a problem. To overcome that problem, don't lose, pick something else. All right? Because here's my analysis of the high elves versus ogre kingdoms matchup. Ogres take units in the large category, the bigger than small category, the taller than average category. High elves take the best spearmen in the game, and they stand perfectly still. And the ogres go, rah! And the ogres get stuck on the spear's pointy ends, and the ogres all stop being alive. And then the game ends horribly. I actually think this is I caught that one. I caught it on its way out. I think this is a stinky matchup for the ogres. I think it is stinky. That's what I was trying to do there. Where's the Crusher Spam? You forgot Crusher Spam? I think Crusher Spam is wildly overrated. We saw Will Francesco take it versus Dark Elves. I forget who his opponent was, who was playing the Dark Elves, but it got Soul Stealered. It got shot. It got Cold One Nighted. It died. All right. You don't like seeing lead belchers here? They're probably for Phoenix Guard, but I don't know. Lead belchers have a tough time being shot at, and high elves have really, really good archers with really good range. Now, lead belchers technically outrange the archers. It's 200 to 180, but that's not enough of a difference to really matter unless you have insane levels of micro, which I don't generally like counting on builds for having insane levels of micro. Like, I like builds that'll work most of the time, and then if you outplay your opponent, you get further advantage. But like lead belchers versus high elves, it feels like you have to outplay your opponent, which is a brutal win condition to put on yourself. So we'll see. All right, on the other side, we have 3 Sabertusk packs, 2 Crushers of Great Weapons, one of which is the Sky Striders. We do have some Ogre Bulls, Ogre Bulls, Ogre Bulls, so 4 Ogre Bulls, 3 Nobbler Trappers, 2 Lead Belchers, and a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw. Huzzah. He did take Brain Gobbler and Troll Guts as his 2 spells. I have been really liking the Troll Guts coming into the form. I think that spell is insanely good. It's cheap, it's 4 Winds of Magic, minus 16 leadership, and you just use it for like, it's not about routing the front line like Doom and Darkness or Burning Head is with their leadership debuffs. It's just about like, if you get something super low on leadership in the middle of the Sky Striders and it's about to break, you can just chuck that on there to make sure it breaks, stops fighting back, and routes off the map or something. It's about high priority asset sniping. Or routing a unit of Silvern Guard with their unusually high leadership they would normally hold to the very end, and then you can just get rid of them, chase them to the edge of the map, get a ton of kills off them for your Ogre passive. It's good. I like this spell. Another side for the High Elves. 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers to keep Lead Belchers honest. Also probably Iron Blasters. That's actually a good call out. This, like, if you take out the 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, an Iron Blaster would roll shop over this formation because it just outranges literally everything. You'll get kited. So those are good call out just to keep the ogres a little honest. We do have 2 Sisters of Avalorn. Ooh, Very elite archers. Foot techless with regrowth, net of Amnitok, and then his sword. Okay. 2 Phoenix Guards, some Spearmen and Silvering Guard. I feel like double Stonehorn would do really well here. Ugh. Double Stonehorn is kind of cancer, but it's also really good versus boxes. Oh well. We'll see how the ogres who don't have horns made of stone can do. I think it's going to be tough. For now, the bolt throwers are just getting free value. They're poking crushers, they're poking ogre bowls. They're waiting for something like the lead belchers to actually get in value. Get in range for them to get value off of. Bolt throwers firing at crushers, doing fine. Yeah. If the ogres make your best dish, techless in his juice. The potion of Croy. You can use that to season him up. There's no way elf flesh is appetizing. They're too stringy. Yeah. Elves don't make good eating. You know who do make good eating? Toads of Nurgle. I mean, you get the worst stomach ache afterwards, but it's worth it. It's worth it all the way. All right, lead belchers are in range, and the bolt throwers are immediately on top of them, though they do counterfire the Sisters of Avalorn. We'll see how much they can hit at that distance. Usually they miss a lot, and they are indeed missing quite a few, so it's still getting decent damage out. And the saber tusks are moving in on the backside. This has been nicely timed, because now the spearmen can't move up to help with this ogre bull charge that's going on in the middle of the formation. They're busy trying to hold back these saber tusks, though it does look like even that saber tusks are going to fit through the gaps here. Have our first net coming out onto the ogre bulls. Is there even punishment for it, though? Because they're already where they want to be. So the net stops them from moving or taking a new engagement, but they're already killing the bolt thrower. There's nothing here that's actually going to stop them. And the Sister of Avalorn firing at something else. So unfortunately, that's like... It could have been a good net if it was before they hit the bolt thrower, but now that they're here, the ogres are probably going to roll over this Howl formation. The Keepers of the Flame, Spearmen do need to move in a little quicker. They need to do more things faster. These other Phoenix Guard are also a little AFK. The health box just not responding to the threats fast enough, unfortunately. You Bolt Thrower getting pushed off. Silver and Guard are about to follow it. A Brain Gobbler would even get them to start moving. And the Sabertusk packs just suicide dive onto these Oko Bolt Throwers to get rid of them. And both the Crushers are still fine somewhere. Where's the second one? There you are. Yeah, they ran all the way through the front line. At this point, the High Elves are actually probably doomed. They didn't move their melee assets quickly enough to defend any of the range stuff, so now both the Bolt Throwers are shut down. One of the Sisters of Avalorn is currently mucked up in melee combat. The other one I can't even find, so it might just be dead. Where's the second one? Is that it? Yeah, so it's already shattered. Without range, they are just a spear box, which overwhelming just cycle charging with the Crushers and healing them up and kiting with the Lead Belchers, you're going to be just fine. So, yeah. Ogres win this round. Calling it right now. Phoenix Guard do get rear charged. They currently have an overcasted regrowth trying to keep them healthy, but they're still taking a ton of damage despite that. No little flag is shaking, quivering in fear. Lead Belchers firing into the Sisters. And the High Elves do rally enough to get the Sisters safe. They're firing back onto the Lead Belchers, going to push them away. And without the Lead Belchers, the Phoenix Guard can do some serious bump and grind work. Regrowth trying to keep them in the fight. They're so close to breaking. But not quite. And the Hives are getting their second wind. I don't know where this crew actually is. Where's that Bolt Thrower crew? Because the flag's there. There's the crew. They are coming back to the fold. Could this be a High Elf Resurgence? Maybe. I'm still suspect, but it could be. Wow, those Phoenix Guard are actually approaching their heal cap. Jesus Christ, that's insane. Alright. We'll see. Sky Strider's taking a lot of damage. I don't know how much healing they've received yet. They could be getting a Butcher or Troll Guts for all I know. Or they could be approaching their heal cap. Both the Lead Belchers still alive, still happy. And yeah, the Ogres all of a sudden ran out of juice. Where did these Ogre Bulls go? There's one rallying. Here's one coming in from the left field. Oh, we have some rampaging Sabertusks running off into the distance. Okay, that's where they are. Because these guys are going to have to maneuver around the Phoenix Guard. Just beat them with your superior speed. And get around here. I don't know why all of these ogres are falling back. I feel like they could have punished that gap there. Run the crushers up through the middle, shut down these bolt throwers. Because now, actually, both the bolt throwers are going to come back online, and the Sisters of Avalorn are still here. And the High Elves are reforming their box, getting their bearings. Teclis probably has another net up, so the crushers are going to have to be careful if they dive in. I feel like the ogres took their their foot off the gas pedal there all of a sudden. Weird. It's an opportunity for that brain gobbler. Liked watching dwarves PvP in Total Warhammer 2, so sad elves. Right now I don't fully know what the ogre's plan is. It looks like they're falling back to deal with the silver and guard while also getting some healing procs off. But they are taking shots in the back while they run away. More spearing for the High Elves trying to rally back, but they are going to get surrounded by ogre bulls, getting shot in the side by trappers, and that should spike their leadership low enough to get rid of them. Holding for now at 7. Wavers down to 3. And then down to 0. I'm pretty sure they're going to rout in just a hot second here. There it is. And there's some more charge for the ogres. On the far side, again, the crushers just ran down some silver and guard pretty easily, taking them out. Getting a bunch of army passive, healing up the Sky Striders a ton. Why don't people use chariots? They're still OP. Even elvish ones are good. Johnny, I don't think that's true. Last I checked, chariots are still hot garbage. Unfortunately. I wish chariots were good. They just do, like, no damage. 0 Americans eat horse. Okay, so I'm not American now? Same would apply to horse meat, it's still great. That's weird. World Series. Does Europe even play baseball? I don't think so, because it's like us and Japan, right? Does anybody else play baseball? Alright, I'm mostly caught up. The ogres are, shall we say, large. Their chariots would be ridiculous. I mean, technically the Iron Blaster is a chariot. So is a Scrap Launcher. Maybe just use those. Dry Kazrak plus 2 Razor Gores, no infantry will stand. Depends on the infantry. Honestly, Dwarven infantry might be able to stand up to that. But they don't do the damage quickly enough to warrant bringing chariots because the risk on them is so intense. Like, if those chariots get stuck in cavalry or monstrous infantry of any kind, they just die instantly. But they take a long time to take care of those infantry. It's also about cost. Thought they fixed the Infinite Rampage bug. Those Sabertusk are still rampaging? Yeah. No, they did not fix that. Well, they fixed it in the beta, and then the beta didn't go live, which was weird. But, yeah. That's the state we're in. Sabertusk packs finally stopped rampaging. Haven't talked about the game for a bit, because the ogres are just chasing down units and getting a bunch of value. Sounds like their thing. But now they are moving back into the range. Looks like the High Elves have still been poking these Lead Belchers the entire time, because they're getting pretty low on HP. Those bolts do less damage than I would have suspected. Even versus Lead Belchers, they are taking forever to kill those guys off. You cycle charge them? Yeah, I know. It still feels like chariots don't do a lot of damage, but we can agree to disagree. Is Chef running away? He's just been chasing down any High Elves that routed for army passive. Lead Belchers trying to get something done as they continue to get poked down. That one is at 5 models, but the other one's at 14, still full HP. Can probably take care of the Keepers of the Flame. And the Sky Striders charge right in. Sister Avalon get 1 volley off onto them. Doesn't do that much damage. How much missile resist do you guys have? 20? It's not that much. Guess it's just your insanely high health pool that's keeping you this safe. Again, the Crushers are moving in. The Spears do need to be a little more proactive about moving up. There is a net on time, but there's no like Keepers of the Flame or Phoenix Guard to really punish that at this moment. The Sisters of Avalorn also aren't shooting at them. So it's only forestalling this judgment for like the briefest second. Something needs to be moved up to deal with these guys for the Sisters. Now some Spearmen are coming along. The Saber-Tooth packs have already gotten on the Eagle Bolt Thrower. And another Troll Guts is coming for these Crushers, so even if they take any damage, they'll be just fine. Oh, it's actually a regrowth for the Silver Guard. Interesting. Crushers charge straight through these other Spearmen. They even get onto the Sisters of Avalorn. The Keepers of Flame are now running in, but they are getting shot by a Lead Belcher the entire time. And I still think this is all probably Ogre. Try this with Warrior's Chaos. Stack Severed Claw on top of Corn, chosen with the Nurgle Sorcerer Lord. Big D Anchor Energy. I mean, yeah, that doesn't sound like it's going anywhere. Alright. Phoenix Guard just about to break. Silver and Guard close behind them. Really the only thing left for the High Elves that's doing any work right now is the Keepers of the Flame, and I doubt that can carry a whole game on their back. Sister Avalorn going down. And that seems like it. Bolt Throwers did disappoint. I'm sure they got good value because they got to shoot the entire game, but they didn't do it nearly fast enough to really matter at all, and they just got overcome by healing. Regardless. Another net onto the Crushers. But I think it's too late for these High Elves. Yeah, the Spearmen that they were nearby are all dead. These Silver and Guard are barely hanging on. And I think that is GG at last. I have no more commentary at this point. It is just going to be watching the Keepers of the Flame get shot in the side by these Lead Belchers. If you have a dislike of Elves, here's your little highlight reel. As they get another regrowth. This one even overcast to give them all of the power they could possibly have. And the Sisters of Avalorn actually find the presence of mind to keep firing at the Sky Striders, who are getting another Butcher. That'll probably heal cap them. Then there's another Crusher that's not even heal capped in sight. Oof. Oof, says this one. As Lead Belchers continue to do Lead Belcher things and try and shoot into Phoenix Guard and somehow miss. How did you miss? That's not the Phoenix Guard. Why are these guys shooting at random nobodies? Oh, they're shooting at like singular Phoenix Guard running around here instead of the big clump. Boo! You're poopy Lead Belchers. We don't like you. What's not routing at this point? Teclis, some Spearmen, and the Keepers of the Flame. Sky Striders are running away. They're even getting another Troll Guts. Just to officially heal cap them. Finish them off. I don't think they can win at this point. They should probably throw in the towel. You can't kill all these ogres with just the Keepers of the Flame. Quick little net onto the Crushers. Keepers of the Flame are going to run forward. See how much good it does them. They use their Pokey Poke sticks to great effect. Crushers at 7,600 HP. They are still there. They are still there. There we go. Now they start taking some damage. These Lead Belchers are just whiffing. They haven't done anything. There we go. Now they're getting some good hits in. Took them a while. Crushers do eventually get away. Their heal cap also with insight. Is Teclis a better melee combatant than the Ogre guy? No. So Teclis is actually a worse melee combatant than the Slaughter Master. Ogre Bulls plow into Spearmen. Both sides take a significant amount of damage, but I think the Crushers will hop in and make sure that is rather one-sided soon. Lead Belchers cut away from Keepers of the Flame. They are 10 speed faster. Teclis might have another net soon, but we'll see if it matters. Goodbye, Spearmen. I wouldn't even be that shocked to see that Tier 1 army ability, Dismember, come out from the Ogres and just slow down the Keepers of the Flame and Teclis. Who's popping some healing of his own. Keepers of the Flame heal cap has appeared. And it's a 15-minute game of chasing high elf spears down. The ogres are really just leaving these lead belchers out. Their crushers need to come over here and like do something about this. They're not gonna lose, it's just silly. Overly cautious, one might say. Do have some spearmen rally against Nabla trappers, but we do have saber-toothed packs nearby that can just run them down easily enough. Slaughtermaster's chasing down the Sisters of Avalorn. Another regrowth onto the Keepers of the Flame as he continues to run after them. I arrive now 1-1 with this one. Yeah, once it's actually over, it's 1-1. How do you feel about Bubble Witch Hunter and Land Battle? If you're talking about Double Witch Hunter, it's really bad. It's really bad. Witch Hunters are terrible. Is Platypus still rolling in PvP scene? Yeah. I think he does mostly Dom stuff, but I don't really know at this point. He's around. Unless you're talking about the other Platypus that's also in RTK, in which case she popped in for a bit, played a couple games, haven't heard from her since. Crushers are back on the Phoenix Guard. Lead Belchers are going to shoot them in the bum. They fire over their heads, I guess. Just can't figure out how height works. Now the Phoenix Guard are critically low. Teclis is still full HP, but he can't do anything about any of this. He's a Sorcerer Lord from back when Sorcerer Lords meant they were bad at melee combat. Not nowadays, when being a Sorcerer Lord is just making you even better at melee combat. Looking at you, Astrogoth, Malagith, Dark Elf, Sorceress Lord, Exalted Lords of Change of Tzeentch, Kairos Fateweaver, also of Tzeentch, all of Nurgle's Lords. Looking at you, all of you. Single Witch Hunter can be decent, 2 is too many. Mr. Teufel, now you're being dirty. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. Crushers did okay. Lead Belchers did well after they just took out all the ranged assets and then backed off and shot the elves to death from a distance, and Ogre Bulls got to chase down infinite things. It's pretty good. The build from the house was alright. I'd like to see a little more cavalry of some kind, even if it's just Illyrian Reavers to chase down ogres or to provide some mass of some kind, but we did just have an issue of the box was a little too spread out, and then when the gaps were exploited, they didn't move in quickly enough to punish anything. So, yeah. Just got torn apart from the inside out, taken down, and it's 1-1. Have you not seen Alfredino's casters in Warhammer 2? They literally 1v1 Loom with an Empire Light caster on foot. That sounds silly. Which was the OG OP Cast Lord? Okay, yeah, all of Vampire counts are Caster Lords, that's true. But that kind of goes with their territory. I would honestly say Starthoriel was the first busted Caster Lord. Because he wasn't meant to be insane in melee combat, but he was. Mazda Mundi's also pretty good in melee combat, though. So maybe it's just Caster Lords in general are that way. Alright, what did my brother message me? Played League of Legends again. Alex, no. Game 3. Lenorm bans Cathay. So how the BBB system works is if your first pick, your opponent gets to ban one faction from you before that. So it's like player 2 bans a faction, player 1 picks a faction, bans 3, and then player 2 counterpicks. So El Chef for game 3 cannot play Cathay. See what he does there. Chef is the greatest Total War player of all times. Well then, that's shocking news to learn. You haven't seen Sister of Avalon since Total Warhammer 2? Oh, they've been popping up here and there. I know Lenorm takes them a lot. He used them versus Alfredino on yesterday's stream. Versus the Vampire Counts. And he lost. Zlok is the strong one. I mean, Mazda on foot might still kick your ass. Because he has Apotheosis. And Net. And Slans are silly. Malagor can also be devastating now in melee. I don't know about devastating, but he's fine. He's fine. I enjoy Malagor. Flying around, giving buffs, doing stuff. Why is everybody spamming that Chef is the greatest Total Warhammer player of all time? Why is that happening? Did I miss something? When did Tesla stop being the best Total Warhammer player of all time? Rest in peace, Tesla. I miss that guy. Played Beastmen before they were cool. Him and Yalinale. Those are two faces I definitely miss from the scene. Yalinale was interesting. He played Lizardmen a lot like Cal Harmon plays Lizardmen now. We're like, not the same style, but I meant if you talk to 9 out of 10 Lizardmen players, they play roughly the same way. And then there's that one guy. I almost swore again. I didn't. There's that one guy that doesn't play that way. That was Yalinale. You know, a normal Lizardman build would be like 4 chameleon skinks and a carnosaur and some Saurus. And Yalinale's like, want to see 4 Razordons? He just run around with Razordons. Who is Chef? Where is Chef? Why is Chef? All right, El Chef went with Dark Elves. Ban Ogre Kingdoms, Wood Elves, and Dark Elves. And Lenorm counterpicks with Lizardmen. Dark Elves versus Lizardmen. For a while, I thought this was quite Dark Elf favored. And then I was playing Dark Elves, and Lizardmen kept raffle stomping me. And it was just getting really annoying. Because it felt like I would throw Harganeth Executioners against basic skinks, and the basic skinks would beat the crap out of them, and my Harganeth Executioners would just be dead. I don't understand it. I'm like, nothing dies! Why did they die? But it got better. It got better. And now I feel like it's even-ish. I lost to Caradoc on it in a really close game, but he just, like, heal caps double horned ones. And my Shades wouldn't fire. Stupid Shades. What's weird is people have always said the Shades are the most reliable unit. This is sarcasm. People have always said, my Shades just fire really quickly, and then they're ready to dodge. It's like if Burning Head's coming for your Shades, they can always just move out of the way. I love Shades. They set up so quickly. They just stand, boom, fire. Immediately fire. Shades are so great, Human Boy. How could you ever have a problem with them? Because they're the most problematic ranged unit ever. Even in Warhammer 2. They just wouldn't shoot. They wouldn't do anything. When they do fire, it's usually pretty good. Unless you're shooting at horned ones, apparently. They just miss all the friggin' time. But no, Shades, awful. It's like, all right, I got these horned ones. What did I do? Did I net them or rampage them? I rampaged them with Witch Elves. They're stuck in place. Go, shoot. All right, we're turning around. Okay, we're building a crossbow from scratch. Oh, I don't have enough wood to build a crossbow from scratch. I'm cutting down a tree to build my crossbow from scratch. I am now stringing the crossbow. I am now test firing the crossbow to see if it's properly tuned. It is. But now that I've fired, I need to reload the cross. Oh, and the rampage wore off. And I'm like, of course the rampage wore off! You had like an hour! You had like an hour to shoot them! You spent the entire time building a freaking crossbow! Why didn't you have one? Why didn't you have a crossbow with you before the game started? That's how I feel about Shades. They never fire. I hate them. But regardless, I learned that taking a Dragon Lord into Lizardmen can be rather difficult. Especially if they go wide. Because if they go wide, you don't have any great targets to snipe. And then they have a lot of hybrid ranged units that can punish you for being in the sky, like Skink Hearts with Javelins and Skink Skirmishers and Chameleon Skinks and that sort of thing. Plus, they have a lot of healing, so the Soul Stealer tax isn't that bad versus them. Right? Because Soul Stealer doesn't do that much damage in one cast. It's more about casting over and over again, whittles down an army. But Lizardmen strangely actually have the best healing in the game. You can take a life salon and a revivification crystal and heal more than any other faction in the game possibly can. So they can kind of withstand the Soul Stealer tax. Master Core Camper is the greatest Total War player of all time. All right, now that title doesn't mean anything. Rubber Duck was the best Lizardman player. Fight me. But didn't that guy suck at video games? Oh no. Mr. Corncamp is a legend. That's the dude. JMP, what are the odds that you are Patata Pilania? Is that you, and are you repping yourself to be the greatest Total War player of all time? TK Rizzo is the greatest. There's a lot of greatest right now. I don't know if I can trust you guys anymore. All right, here we go. Boop. We have a Salon. And the RR Boxagors. I love these guys. I've been using a ton of Boxagors recently. Power Fist Boxagors, regular Boxagors, regular Croxagors. Dark Elves versus Oak King is the worst Total War fight of all times. Alrighty. What do we got? Still waiting for Nurgle rework? I don't know what they would do with him, though. Like, thematically, Nurgle is working as intended. It's just not a great thematic. Be slow and grind them down is not super engaging gameplay. Green one insulting my honor. That's fine. So we do have the new flavor of the month. The newly buffed Supreme Sorceress of Dark. You can just take her on a dragon for like 500 gold less than Malekith, and she does everything Malekith does, essentially, without the Gaze of Malice. But she's cheaper and just as good. She still has actually very similar combat stats. She's kind of insane. Try it out if you want some free wins. Other than that, we have 2 Dark Shards with shields, 2 Blackguard of Nagarond. A lot of Elite Halberds this series. We saw, what, Phoenix Guard? First game we saw Silver and Guard. Second game we also saw Silver and Guard. Now third game we're seeing Blackguard. Huh. Anyway, just 1 Scourger on Chariot, 1 Scourger on Chariot, a Cold One Knight, and a Dark Rider. That is it. Ooh. Dark Elves might be hurting on mobility this game. Then a front line of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. It'll be kind of interesting if the infantry lose again. Because this is a very infantry-heavy build from the Dark Elves. In Game 2, the infantry-heavy High Elf Spearbox got run down by Crushers over the course of a long game and shot by Lead Belchers. And in Game 1, the High Elf infantry-heavy build got killed by the single entities of the Flying Manticores plus the Blue Fire of Zinch Span plus the Hell Cannon. So it'd be kind of funny if infantry spam loses a third time. It's like the new meta takes 0 infantry. Alright, on Lizardman side, 4 Skink Skirmishers, 5 Skink Cohorts with Javelins. Then we have 4 Feral Cold Ones, 2 Ripperdactyl Riders, one of which is the Arwar Closton Hunters. We have the Cohort of Huatl, Sacred Boxagors ROR. They do have Dazed now. It's minus 10 melee defense if you get hit by those boys. 1 Ancient Salamander to do a little bit of poking and kiting. And then a single Slann Mage Priest of Life with Regrowth, Earthblood, his Bound Banishment, Aura of Quetzal, and Blood Statue of Spite. You know what, Cuden? I don't like you. Does Robane still stream? Yeah, I haven't heard of that guy in forever. Don't Dark Elf Infantry hard lose to Saurus? Yeah, but swords are slow enough you can usually get a ton of value shooting at them or something. And they don't win that quickly. They'll win it, but eventually. As a lizardman, usually kind of want to win this faster. Maiden's here. AC Maiden. Last time I talked to you, I had 1,000 subscribers. We were playing Warhammer 1 on the Sega Genesis. What are you doing here? Alright. Ancient Sally goes pew pew. Fires at the bleak swords. And then it starts to run sideways. And we might have another kite game, though the Scourge Runner is going to fire at the Ancient Sally, who spits on Dark Elves because he doesn't like them. Never mind, he likes them. Not going to fire. Now he's going to fire. Not going to fire. Maybe he will fire. Human boy changed the world, gone before his time. Am I dead? Hey, Jeremy. I'm glad somebody liked that reference. I feel like everything's on the Sega Genesis. Alright. He's going to fire. Fires up over trees. Is he going to hit these blackguard? Yes, he does. It does some damage. Not a lot, but a bit. He tries to fire again. He fires again, but the Scourge Runners get revenge. Owie, owie. He misses his shot, too. Yeah. Yeah. Try Game Boy graphics, they're better. Somehow, they might be. They might be. Anyway, Skink Skirmishers are trying to push off those Scourge Runner chariots, and they don't want to be anywhere near that, so they are going to run away, and the Skink Skirmishers are pressing in, getting some free value onto the Dark Riders. And they're generally happy to shoot their ammunition at anything. This is only a 400 gold unit, and it has 25 volleys, so it's like, I probably won't live to see tomorrow. I'm going to shoot at whatever comes near me. Come here. Come here. You want some of this? No matter what we shoot at, it's a fine value trade, because we don't cost anything. The Ancient Salamander is actually trying to work down. It looks like now he's aiming at the Dark Shards, which is a better bet. He does have armor-piercing missile strength, but as we saw versus the Blackguard, it really doesn't seem to do that much damage, so you might as well just shoot at the Dark Shards. You'll get significantly more out of it. Lizardmen feel safe and happy to kite. There's just 2 standing archers and a Scourge Runner Chariot to counterfire against them, and they have, I don't know, 5 hybrid units, 4 skirmish guys, and an Ancient Salamander firing sideways into the Blackguard, getting some good damage out. A little bit of kiting, but we do need to worry about this. Supreme Sorceress of Dark trying to land directly on the Ancient Salamander, and Dark Riders also sallying forth. But she misses her charge and takes a bunch of little poison bolts in the back for her efforts. Gets back up into the sky. And Pegasus, have you ever heard about it? I did not. I don't know what a Sega Pegasus is. Sounds on brand for them, though. Everything they had back then was an Asus. Blackguard down to half HP before the fight even starts as the Salamander fires at them yet again. Where is that little spiky boy? There you are. My friend. Turns to fire at a Dark Shard. Going to be a nice side angle. Dark Riders are going to sprint up on the Salamander, though, and he has to run away. Some of these Skink Horse Javelins might want to turn around and get some free throws onto those Dark Riders. They do pretty good damage there, shielded or unshielded. The skirmish continues. Bleak Sword's taking a lot of damage. And Dark Shards at last get a couple volleys off, but it is into Skink Skirmishers, so they're cheaper than the Bleak Swords. That's how cheap Skink Skirmishers are. Immediately terror routing the Dark Riders, and oh no! Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Supreme Sorceress Dark runs away. She is going to throw out a Soul Stealer, but its healing will largely go to waste. She didn't need it, right? Just going to hit the top of her healing bar in a second here, and then the rest of that healing's fine. Salamander's still just kiting around doing some good work. Nuke it down, Blackguard. Skink Skirmishers continue to fire. Lenormand is up about 500 damage value. And the Dark Shards, how did this happen? Ancient Salamander ends up on the other side of Dread Spears, has to push through them and get shot by Dark Shards. So he does get a regrowth. That'll save him. Okay, he'll be fine. It still look weird, though. I don't know how he ended up in that spot. More Lizardmen kiting. Y'all are weird. Y'all are strange people. Dark Riders catch the Salamander for just a hot second before all of these little barbs will take them out, plus the Ripperdactyls tear them apart. Power of Darkness cast on them to give the Sorceress of Dark more winds of magic. at the cost of their pathetic little Druchii lives, and she even lands among the Ripperdactyl riders who are going to run away, and more javelins will punish her for landing. Hooray, hooray. Meanwhile, Feral Cold Ones chasing down anybody that dares rout in their presence. Goodbye, little Druchii. They are almost shattered. Dark Riders piling in. We'll get a pretty decent trade onto the Feral Cold Ones because they got the charge bonus. See if any skinks actually have ammunition to help them out with that. It'll be just fine. Big Soul Stealer catches like 6 units in a bit of a blob. That's a whoopsie daisy. As the Dark Shards take another shot from the Ancient Salamander. A counter regrowth will try and keep things safe, but a big breath attack from the Dark Elf Sorceress is getting a lot of damage down. So far, she's been trying to solo carry this game. Cold Dread Knights are thinking about piling in. Now they're opting out, but they might opt back in soon as a Blood Statue of Despite just wears them down little by little. And the Sacred Roxagors of Legend are sticking near to the Slann, trying to make sure he stays safe from this Dragon Lady, who might just dive on him anyway for gits and shiggles. Banishment of the Slann, trying to finish off those Dark Shards. And a full health Dark Shard is now coming into range, which is where Lizardmen do have a bit to fear. Ripperdactyl Riders catching out the Cold Dread Knights, getting a lot of damage onto these guys who are also dazed. There must be one Croxor somewhere that hit one of their models, because they were dazed for quite a while there. Supreme Sorceress Dark is on the ground. The Ripperdactyls continue to dive the Cold Dread Knights. No one is helping out the Slann. I mean, there are Croxors nearby, but there's no Croxors between her and her target, so the Slann's going to take a lot of damage, and the Dark Shards are shooting him in the back. This could be a disastrous moment for the Lizardman. He is going to throw down a regrowth. Is it Overcast? It's an Overcast regrowth on the Slann Mage Priest, and the Ripperdactyls have almost finished with the Cold Dread Knights. They do have to come up here and help out with the Sorceress, or they need to dive the back line and deal with the Dark Shards. Actually, either is a really good decision as soon as you get rid of those Dread Knights. But I don't want to see them both go to the same place. Probably the Colossadon Hunters go on her for their anti-large, and the other ones go for the Dark Shards. You can ignore the Scourge Runner Chariots. They're going to shoot at you anyway, so you might as well just deal with it. Here we are. Colossadon Hunters diving down. This lady is dazed, giving her only 36 melee defense because of the Croxagors. There they are. And the Slann gets away. His heal cap is within sight, but he's fine. Elsewhere, Skinks are continuing to skirmish with Blackguard of Nagrand, who are taking a lot more damage than they would prefer. The Ancient Salamander is continuing to shoot on the sides. Supreme Sorceress Dark doesn't care about any of that. Pushes through all the Lizardmen, is going straight for the Slann, who is still trying to kite away. Dark Elves have taken a lead on the damage value. Dark Shards will get pushed off by his Ripperdactyls in a mere matter of seconds. Colossadon Hunters still piling in onto the Supreme Sorceress Dark. Another Earthblood trying to save the Slann and his Croxagor friends and their Ripperdactyl Riders as well. Looking around, the Dark Elves front line has seemed to win with all their Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, and Blackguard just pushing through the front line. Ripperdactyl Riders are even terror-routed off. The Croxors are about to die too. This Dark Elf Sorceress is still diving the Slann, is going to terror out him as well. And things are looking a little bit scary. Ancient Sally will fire at the Blackguard of Nagrand. I just don't know how much it's going to matter at this point. Another Soul Stealer, this one going for the Slann and his little friend. Gonna heal up the Supreme Sorceress. Everybody loves Soul Stealer. You love it. You love to see it. Slann with the counter Earthblood, and the Ripperdactyl Riders are still chasing after the big scary Dark Elf Lady. Croxagor is also trying to get away from their fate with the Blackguard. Balance power is slightly favoring the Dark Elves, and I would tend to agree. Now we have Warhammer 40k3. Do we? About 40k, can someone explain how it's possible to stupid greenskins advance space travel so industrial dwarfs did? I don't know anything about 40k. I know its lore is very silly. Another regrowth is coming in, this time for the Colossadon Hunters. And the other Ripperdactyl Riders are AFK at the moment. They need to come back and need to get involved. Meanwhile, Skinks push off actually a lot of Dark Elves and buying some good space for the Lizardmen to get their bearings in this backfield area. More Lizardmen are rallying. It looks like Coldwind Dread Knights were pushed off by these Feral Coldwinds. Lizardmen getting their feet back in this game. The bounce power tips back towards the middle, and I would tend to agree, as these Dark Shards are getting hounded right now. Though, Lenorm does have to rally these Ripperdactyls and bring them back into the fight soon. Soon, says I. Scourge Runners, 2 shots left. Ancient Salamander, 6 shots left. Ooh, and these Croxagors are going to run into a Scourge Runner Chariot, and the last of their life force will probably be drained away from them at this point, unless they get a crazy, like, regrowth or something. A little Earthblood. That's pretty much what the doctor ordered. Ripperdactyls are flying past the Dark Shards. I wonder where they are going. These Skinks also, like, someone needs to take care of these Dark Shards. Please. Please. Scourge Runners get caught up a little bit. in the Closston Hunters and the Cohort of Waddle. Getting some good damage down. What is this? Oh, there's some Blackguard in the background. Oh, okay. Looks like they're still getting shot by the Ancient Sally. 4 shots left on him. Can the Lizards do it? Well, the constant fear is always the Dark Elf Sorceress Lady. She has cast a lot of Soul Stealers in her time, so maybe she's running out, said no one ever, because she always seems to have like 5 more. Ripperdactyls get a nice charge onto the Blackguard. A frontal charge from Feral Kobolin should spell the death of them. They are somehow at 31 leadership. I guess they were wavering a millisecond ago, but all of a sudden they're fine, and now all of a sudden they're dead again. Big breath attack goes in for the Salon. Most of it hits the tree, though, and spares him a lot of the repercussions. One last Earthblood from him is probably all he's going to get, as the Sorceress does dive in now. Armor of Quetzal giving him 56 melee defense. He tries to stay safe. He is running away, but the Ripperdactyls are nowhere to be seen. Skinks aren't even throwing away their lives for the poor Salon Master. And the Closston Hunters are also trying to come around, but we'll see if anybody actually gets here in time to help him out. So far, the Salon has just been completely abandoned. He decides to stand his ground the last second. Now he's going to run away again. The Closston Hunters are here. Shield the Old Ones is down for them. I imagine they'll also pop their Toad Rage pretty soon. Never mind. They fly back into the sky. And we all continue on as normal. Last of the Dark Shards are pushed away. More Bleak Swords are pushed away. Blackguard and Dread Spears getting left behind in this forest as the Salon is going to make his cunning little escape. There's a healthy Bleak Sword we might have to worry about. I wonder, does the Salon have any casts left? Yeah, oh, he has a Banishment left. It should go into that Bleak Sword for sure. I don't know what else he would even be saving it for, and his life doesn't seem to be lasting that much longer, so might as well just chuck it out into that full health Bleak Sword. Please, Slan, use your spells! Give himself Cold-Blooded to stay in the fight, and he is going to use a Banishment right here, which is extremely bold. 1, the Bleak Swords were more clumped up, and 2, this could easily arc into all your troops and do more damage to your troops, so I think that is probably a misplay, as it is going to catch these Feral Cold Ones, do a good number of damage to them. Don't like that. Supreme Sorceress is trying to charge in. She has activated her Opal Amulet for 20% damage to this, so the Ripperdactyl Riders are tearing her apart. The Salon is trying to hang on, is trying to push through. He gets pushed on the front of the Dark Elf caster. Lizardmen are in Ascension at this point. They're quite up on the balance of power. Most of the Dark Elves are routing, except for these little Bleak Swords who, I don't know how much longer they have left in this world. The Ripperdactyls, the birds of prey, are swarming about the Supreme Sorceress's head, diving down onto her, surrounding her, and she is going to get dazed every so often from these Cohort of Waddle if they get any attacks onto her, which will lower her melee defense even more, making her a bigger and bigger target. Blackguard have hung on with 31 HP and 2 models. They hop back into the fight. 4 now, 23, 13, and they are dead. Last of the Bleak Swords is just about to rout, and I think at this point we will see the Supreme Sorceress of Dark surrounded, beaten into the dirt, and the Life Salon heel-capped but unbowed in the sidelines with 1,000 health left to him. That's going to be a GG unless she has 3 Soul Stealers in her pocket. Because even with 1, I think the ROR Ripperdactyls, the one with the anti-large, will stay in the fight, and they'll probably just grind her down to nothingness. GG. It looked real good in the early game, then it looked pretty bad in the mid-game for the Lizardmen, and then they pulled it out in the end, and that is army losses. Damn, that was a scrapper. AC Maiden, yeah. In the early game, I thought the Dark Elves were in a pretty bad spot. And then they brought it back. And then I thought the Lizardmen were doomed. And then that was it. 4,000 value on not Malekith, but pretty much Malekith. Blackguard, mixed value. The one that actually got into a melee fight did fine. Scourger and Chariot did well. Dark Shards did okay, despite the fact that they got shut down super hard. Dread Spears did well. Bleak Swords did well. Dark Rider did fine. The mistakes of the Dread Knights in the early game might have cost Chef the game. I mean, both players made mistakes. There was that Ripperdactyl for Lenorm chilling in the distance for quite a while before it came back. Told you Lizards would win. Johnny, you're a liar. I don't remember this. And even if I do remember this, which I do remember you saying that, you're a liar. You're a liar. I have no proof for this, but I can just blindly call you a liar. All right, 1,800 on the Power Croxagores, 1,100 on the Salon, 1,500 on the Salamander, 1,300 and 1,400 on the Ripperdactyls. They did nicely. Feral Cold Ones, not too great value-wise, but they were nice to just have around. Skink Hordes and Javelins paid for themselves. Skink Skirmishers also paid for themselves. GG. Lenormand's gone up 2-1. Can El Chef turn it around? Or will the sulfur-crested, redacted bird name? Will the Dark Lord of Birds take it all? I wonder if we see a Zinch or not. Total Warhammer 3 so woke made Malekith a woman. That's actually good. You know what, Johnny? You win this round. But someday, I will be victorious over you. What are we doing? What are we talking about? What's happening? Oh, shit. Is he actually going to play Vampire Counts? All right. El Schiff banned Dark Elves. Then Lenormand and him share a good joke. And then Lenormand goes, Vampire Counts, banned Nurgle, Vampire Counts, and Zinch. Vampire Counts banned Nurgle, Vampire Counts, and Zinch. Chef's played High Elves. He's played Dark Elves. Those are two good factions in the Vampire Counts. He's played Ogres. Lizardman's pretty strong into Vampire Counts. There's not a ton they can do about the Shredder of Lustrio, plus a bunch of healing. Some people like the Coast into counts. I'm not as sure. And when I say not as sure, I am being literal. I am not sure. I haven't seen that matchup since Warhammer 2. So, we'll see what he does. You speak with the Chaos Lovers, so your words are impossible to happen. Fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna grab a drink. You all deal with your own shenanigans in your own time. Where's VM Clan Titan Void these days? He's banned from most tournaments for being a cheater. He used multiple accounts in tournament to try and get like a second life. And then he was caught. And then he got real mad at tournament hosts. And the tournament host said, alright, later, nerd. Well, Chorfs with all the fire damage must be nice. Oh, that's true. Chorfs could actually be pretty good here. Is the swear jar still at officially one swear? Have I done one cuss today? That feels correct. Yeah, that's pretty good. I have 7 messages. Chef still thinking. Who was Void? Arkin? No, Void was Void. Void was also just Mofat. We had to keep going with the human boy is dead and we're 10 years in the future thing. Alright, Alzak. Dang it. Dang nabbit. I said I was going to go grab a drink, but then I got a bunch of messages and I got distracted. Alright, we're having a drink. If you're here when I get back, I'm going to be angry at you. Hazel's excited for some reason. I'm sleeping. That's illegal. One can't be sleepy at this day and age. You have to buy an Oompa Loompa? I don't think they sell those anymore. Wood Elves. Oh, he hasn't declared it. He's just hovering it. Oh, he declared it. Oh, God, it's Wood Elves. I'm scared. I'm frightened for the chances of El Chef here. I know some people in ODM have been talking about... Well, they did for a while. It was weird. Okay, it was weird. So here I am throwing a shade at all of ODM. If you're from ODM... Ooh, I caught that one. Frick you, apparently. But ODM insisted to me. They said, listen, dude, we've been testing some stuff in secret, and we want you to know Wood Elves are busted. Ariel can make this pretty crazy blob. You can't beat it. You just can't beat the Ariel blob. She can kill your whole army. I literally never saw it in a tournament ever. When anybody from that clan picked Wood Elves, they still just took normal Wood Elf builds. And I was like, where's Ariel? What's going on with this? And then ODM people would be like, human boy, don't worry, don't worry. I'm telling you. Ariel's unbeatable. We have this blob. You can't beat it. And then they get to like the finals of a giant tournament and Wood Elves come up and you're like, this is it. It's Wood Elves time. And it's a normal build. And I'm like, you know what? A part of me's starting to think that this blob isn't as good as you guys insist it is. Otherwise, I would have seen it by now. What's ODM? It's a clan that a lot of people are from. Will it be up for parole soon? I don't know. Pretty much every tournament host has banned him. So it would take a pretty big combined effort to bring him back. And it's also that, like, I don't know. Void would have lag switch issues. Then it's like, he lags at very key points in the game. Is he doing it intentionally? Or is he just the luckiest guy on the planet? I don't know. Andy got caught up in a couple live coaching things. So he would take a bad player and sit with them in, like, a voice chat while they're playing and be like, you know, watch out for this on your left, watch out for this on your right, move your guy here, do this. So then he made bad players play way better than they should have and knock out some of his other opponents. Like, he did everything in the book he could to cheat. So it's not really a guy we want hanging around. Was he a good player? Yeah, but there are other good players who aren't dicks. Was it like the dupa? I feel like that's a trap, so I'm going to ignore it. What the frack is ODM? It's a clan. Ordre de Malta. It's mostly French. If you see anybody in ODM, they're French. But what about me? I'm not You're French. The second you signed up for that clan, French citizenship stamped. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, and boy, was he trying. All right, El Chef ready's up. I do wonder, though I'm not allowed to wonder. I'm checking something about the builds before we get in the game and have to deal with it. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Seems legit. Release the Void. Tell Void to stop being a cheating asshole. That sounds like a him problem. Is it everybody's fault for banning him for his behavior repeatedly over time despite several warnings? Or is it our fault for saying no? Seems silly. Human Boy is the big stinky. It's true. Cypher, you can host a tournament and just call it the Void Tournament. You can hang out with him. Seems fine. Alright, Lenorm's still thinking over his build. He's currently negative on funds, so he's either going to have to take out a loan or cut some troops. Already cut some troops. Oh my god, he readied up. Also, ODM, anybody in that clan are a bunch of cowards because somehow BBBL Chef brings it out before you do. We have Ariel, 2 dragons, and a Glade Captain, or whatever her name is. Is this it? Is this the unbeatable blob I've heard so much about? And will it be beaten? Or can it actually not be beaten? And it's actually overpowered. But I heard about this thing like 4 months ago, and I never saw it, so I don't know. I don't think it's overpowered. Might be good against vampire counts, though, because they're not good at punishing blobs. No ranged units. Pretty bad monstrous unit options, too. Like, their single entity duelist is a Vargulf. Ooh, scary. Ooh, Vargulf. No, not the Vargulf. It'll hit me and do 45 damage. No, Vargulf, no! Vargulf suck. Cryptors are their only option, even those aren't that great. Fight me. Johnny, I don't know what you even want from me at this point. Getting attacked. Alright. Oh, what to do. So, we do have an Eternal Guard box, including the Winterheart Guard. Firebark Elders plus another Treekin. Then we have double Forest Dragon. One is a Glade Lord with Helm of Discord. So both sides have a Helm of Discord. And then there's a Glade Captain with Dance of Loic and Horn of Isha. And then is this also? No, this is Call of the Woods. So like everybody in the blob gets plus 10 melee attack and plus 5 melee defense. Then there's occasionally a Helm of Discord. Also there's Ariel around here with Soul Stealer, Tempest, Apotheosis, Acorn of Ages, and Berry Wine. When is the continuation of that faction versus faction Discord thing? Soon enough. One of the people that was involved in it needed a break for some IRL stuff, which is fine because we're running the faction war right now, so I'm busy. Yeah. Do Vargos have hitbox issues? They do versus ranged attacks. Long Paul Dury, I hate you. I hate you. I don't actually hate you, but like in sarcasm, joking spirit, I hate you. The dumb Sith that bring balance to land battle force, not leaving in darkness. I see. Okay. What do we have here for the vampire counts? I didn't ever get to them. Triple Vargeist, the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Black Knights with Lances and Barding. Black Knights with Lances and Barding. That's a weird choice, especially if they got their magic damage taken from them. I don't know why we'd want them now. We have one Dire Pack. Is there another wolf? Nope. Zombies plus Skeleton Spearmen and Graveguard, the Stearnsman. Okay, and no Necromancer and a Corpse Cart, so their stats are actually going to be rather low. You miss Aerocrastic? Why do you miss stinky people? This little Glade Captain's trying to get in here, do some work while the Wood Elf box moves up. Done. 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 Yeah, Booch, you're gonna be confused. Though it seems like you've signed yourself up for that confusion. The Wood Elf box moves slowly forward. Meanwhile, these guys with their little arrows just trying to poke at something, though it's mostly zombies. Do we have a swear count? We're at 2 now. The one I was mildly intentional because I was talking about people of which I have disdain for. Hot Topic greater than Power Gap greater than Spencer's. Yeah, Spencer's sucks. Spencer's is trash. I think we can all agree on that. There's something I'm supposed to do. Oh yeah, Cyrus. Cyrus, if you're still here, yeah, I scheduled... Dude, Cyrus, you always ask me when I'm streaming. On my YouTube channel right now, before this stream started, I had 3 streams scheduled that you can view, that they're coming up whenever you want. I was on top of it, and yet you still DM me on Discord and you say, when you streaming? I mean, yeah, I am. It's on the thing, there's a countdown. Yeah, I'm streaming twice tomorrow. I'm streaming the ODM top 4 third place and first place matches. And Tactical Glitch, if you're still out there, you can see the messages on that. You can join us if you want to. And then at night, I'm streaming King of the Hill Gladiator stuff. All right, things are happening. Everybody calm down. We do have a Tempest. It is not overcast, which is fine. Plus a nasty breath attack into the face of the Blood Dragon Lord, who opts back into the fight. Has not popped Helm of Discord. He is now starting to pop his buffs, but it might be a little late. A second breath attack hits him, and that is actually a huge start for El Chef. A lot of damage on the Blood Dragon Lord, who's going to need all of his healing in the days to come. He throws down Invocation to heck on himself to keep himself safe, and the Vargeists are in, but really the Forest Dragons took, like, negative damage. And Helm of Discord is deterring these other Vargeists from really getting involved, and overall that was an extremely positive trade for the Wood Elves. And the Wood Elves continue to chill. Just sitting there. I didn't realize you were streaming as well, Goji. God damn it, Goji! I tried to schedule these things like Sunday. All right. Is 2 dragons cycle charging considered attacking? Okay. Okay. So, like, El Chef definitely has not been obeying attacking rules most of this game. Because cycle charging with dragons is explicitly listed. Even in the BBB rules, it's explicitly listed as not attacking. So he was just standing around. He's not running away, so he's not avoiding combat. He was just standing there, though. I mean, I literally just pulled up the rules and took a look at it. Anyway, Blood Dragon Lord is fighting the Glade Lord and the other dragon. He's taking a lot of damage for it, though he is dealing it back okay for now. He's hanging on. Does he have an invocation to heck on himself? He does not just yet. And a Soul Stealer is also getting thrown out by Ariel for the damage. It's not going to heal up the dragons, though. It's just going to heal her up, obviously. Vargeist still trying to surround the Glade Lord, who's now attempting to land. Taking a lot of damage while he figures the shit out, though. And the Blood Dragon Lord attempts to dive on Ariel. Wants to avoid the dragons. All 3 dragons were T-posing at the same time for a while there. That was kind of fun. And now the Blood Dragon Lord just lifts casually back up into the sky as the Acorn of Ages does a little bit of damage to some zombos. And Self-Requested Cockatoo. Lenorm catching up in the damage value a little bit. Vargeists diving in. Now they're just going to get out of here. And I think that Berry Wine was cast on the Blade Lord, considering how much healing he got. Is that another Tempest? Another Tempest whittling down the Blood Dragon Lord. It does decent damage. He's going to have to heal himself up some more. The vampire counts are looking to be in a bad situation. Don't know how they're really going to handle it. Their Grave Guard aren't doing the best at getting through the Eternal Guard. Their zombies certainly aren't. These Black Knights have nothing to do. Now, he probably took them in case of any archers. Like, it's not like he predicted that it would just be this weird aerial blob box thing. But, yeah. Silver and Guard are not halberds. They're close enough. They're close enough to proper halberds. Alright, Vargas think about charging back in. They charge back out to get away from the Glade Lord. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading some stuff. Yeah, I just read through the attacking rules. I don't see anything about standing in the middle of the map AFK while 2 Dragon Cycle Charge being anything about attacking. Anyway, Blood Dragon Lord is trying to land yet again for an attack onto the double dragons. He is pretty much heal capped at this point. Both sides have a Helm of Discord pop. The Sword of Anti-Heroes is on the Blood Dragon Lord, trying to give him the stats to push through this. Black Knights with Lances and Barding charge in. Another zombie summon comes out, but counts are running into a big problem. The second Acorn of Ages hits the Sternsman, doesn't seem to do too much damage to them, and they will largely be fine. Blood Dragon Lord is back in the skies. And the Winterheart Guard start to join back in the fight, which means the Vargas are going to have to leave pretty soon. Blade Lord's heal cap is within sight. Ariel is caught out, and the Blood Dragon Lord dives onto her, though, without his buffs is actually pretty meh. Melee combatant. Let's see if we can get anything done here. Looks like he's just going to T-pose for quite a while. Better don't admit that you can read and write. I see. What about Forest Dragons? Both were just standing there staring at each other. The counts were trying to get there. They were advancing zombies and stuff. Alright, healing in for the Vargeists. And the grind continues. More Vargeists are actually stuck in the middle, though. How are we doing for the Wood Elves? Ow! That was a lot of damage onto the Winterheart Guard. Good God. Okay, they're running out of infantry. They have plenty of treekin, and their single entities are doing all right, though the big Blade Lord is close to heal capped. Another Soul Stealer is going to hit, this one going for the Blood Dragon Lord, though it's going to pretty much hit everybody in the whole world. He fails to land, and he immediately gets back up in the sky, though at this point the Soul Stealer already hit, so moving the aura away from his units isn't going to save them any damage. Good night, Cyrus. All the Cav is opting out. All the Vargeists are opting out. Direwolf's running away. So sweet a blob for banishment. I don't think anybody here has banishment. Now that's been like 3 or 4 Tempests and 2 Soul Stealers. Ariel's got to be running low in Winds of Magic. If it's not out already. I don't know what the what the game plan's going to be here. Vargeist do have passive healing, but only when they're in melee combat. Blood Dragon Lord's getting awful low. And the longer they delay, the more the Glade Lord's just going to sit here and shoot. So they have to do something. Because the Blood Dragon's going to get poked out for every second that they don't do something. Vargeist opt in. That's an apotheosis onto something, I thought. Oh, so single man Invocation to Heck. Another Helm of Discord. Both sides throwing down their Helms of Discord. Big shot from the Forest Dragon onto the Blood Dragon Lord, though. And the Blood Dragon Lord is down. At this point, it is looking like GG. Vargeist all dive in now. They're just kind of going for broke, but I don't think there's anything they can do at this point. Are people just saying things with no context of the game they're actually looking at? AoE spills good into Blob and Archers, you don't say? But Black Knight, there's no archers here. What are you talking about? Black Knight, where are these archers you speak of? Vargeist are going to go try and snipe out that one Forest Dragon, but it is quite ogre. And we're just waiting for the bell. The Dastardly Wood Elf Blob will win this day. VC don't like blobs in general? Yeah. Vampire counts are strangely bad at dealing with blobs since they have no range. Like, you think they would have better melee duelists or something, and they just don't. Vargeist continue to charge in, but it will not matter. Should have brought more artillery. Oh, clearly. Clearly the vampire counts had to bring more of their artillery. It's a thing that they definitely do. Alright, 2,400 on the Glade Lord. 3,800 on Ariel. 1,600 on the Forest Dragon. And Eternal Guard mixed value. So I was watching it back on the other screen. The Wood Elf build literally didn't move for, we're at 50 seconds and counting. They didn't do anything. Except for Cycle Charge with Dragons. Alright, yeah. A full minute went by. I don't think there's going to be any particularly stellar values over here. Vargeist did it alright. Graveguard. Mixed. Skeletons mixed. And the Black Knights had, like, nothing to do. Yeah. Gorse's Chariot can't even use gaze now? Yeah. All right. We're dealing with some stuff. We're trying to figure out what was going on with that like minute. The stream needs more likes. Thanks, Black Knight, for the $11. Spent all the ammo on zombies. Honestly, wasn't watching the captain at all. Yeah, I don't know what the captain was shooting at. Probably just running around a melee. You already gave 2 likes. That's illegal. Somebody stop this man. No one told you Canadian cash is fake, like from a Monopoly game? Ugh. Ugh. I forget. Canada has the colorful money too, not just the euro, right? Because I know euros are pretty cool. Don't tell my drug dealer. Don't tell my drug dealer it's all fake. It's all fake, but fake ass money. Okay, so moving on to game 5. While the tournament admins check the replay and make their own decisions, we'll see what they even say about it, but we're moving on. In the meantime, game 5. What up, Rusty? Stop the homeless from eating your money. I feel like there's a story there, but I refuse to ask for it. Instead, I am swapping to sitting down. Ugh. Last map is multiplayer Crossroads. Which actually, we have a video coming out about multiplayer Crossroads tomorrow. That's kind of funny. Canada has dollar coins? What the Moving the one-off box not making any difference? Yeah. Why does it sound like Professor X's hover chair? I don't know. It's just the pistons slowly expanding. Say Tihuya Bunny. There you go. That's probably a Polish curse. On bread. You know, it's a beaver. There was that one map that actively disincentivized taking the middle because it was a giant pit. Was that Wood Elf Quest map one that was for some reason in quick battles with the Twisted in the Twilight DLC? And it would like fry your computer if you looked at the green orb. Here we have coins for 200. Don't worry, 200 what? It's just a large number. Is it yen? Because if it's yen, that's like $2. Once you taste maple syrup, you can't go back. We have maple syrup in the States. It's mostly just sugar and corn syrup, so it's the same thing. Oh, Tian, the Lost Crater. I actually fucking love the Lost Crater. I love that map. No Lich today. No Lich today. Shooting factions couldn't even set up properly because the edge of the craters were so big. I feel like that hasn't been a big problem in Game 3. I haven't heard any complaints about the Lost Crater. Vermont also makes real maple syrup. But the problem is Vermont isn't real. So then it can't make real maple syrup. It'll make real fake maple syrup. What did Ariel bring last game? Tempest, Soul Stealer, Apotheosis, then her Berry Wine, and her Acorn of Ages. So 3 spells, 2 items. Lenorm has banned Cathay. And we're waiting on L Chef's pick 1, ban 3 for Game 5. No, man, it's the same thing. You know what's better than maple syrup? Pierogi with blueberries and maple syrup. That sounds like a lot. I just like cereal. Is it wrong for liking cereal? Is there a limit to spells ability to take outside of no dupes? Not really. No. Do we have a pick? 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 No. Still picking. L Chef, what is your pick? Have you ever had Polish pierogi? No. I'm stateside. I did go to Europe, but I lived in Germany for a month. Middle Earth is actually probably the right call for ME as abbreviations. I'm still waiting for Nurgle versus Slanesh. Is that... I actually haven't seen that matchup in so long. Even pre-Slanesh nerfs. I do wonder if it's still as terrible as it was for Slanesh on release. Because they got Marauder Horseman, but I don't know if that's enough to turn it. The Nurgle Blob. Because then Nurgle got buffs, and now Slanesh got nerfs, so it's now probably quite unwinnable for Slanesh, but... I wonder if there was a brief period where they could win it. Slanesh should get wrecked. Yeah, for sure. Kid cereals even. You're just like Grace. Grace only eats sugared cereals. You want to see Norm Zinch? I do too. We are on game 5. Booch. Oh yeah, that's right. You're in the past. You're in the past. You miss lobster rolls from Maine, U.S. See, I feel like I'm in a bit of a conundrum because I don't like fish. I don't like most fish-based things. I like sushi. I like sushi and salmon. That's about it. I can handle fish. Like is the specific word. I don't like it. I nothing it. You know what I mean? Like, I will eat it. I'm not a picky eater. I eat almost anything. But I wonder what I would do if I grew up somewhere that was known for their seafood. Because I grew up in Minnesota, and we don't have anything for seafood. Like we don't pride ourselves on any of that stuff. So, yeah. But then I wonder if I grew up somewhere that prided itself on seafood, if I would have grown up on seafood, then maybe I would like it. I don't know. But anyway, my brother went to Japan for a while. And he was just talking about like all the fish that he was eating and stuff, and like sushi and all that, and it just sounded gross to me. And I was like, God, I don't know what I would do. I'd live on vegetables. Because I like vegetables. I don't like fish. I don't like fish. I've tried crab. I've tried lobster. It tastes like nothing to me. Tried tuna. It's okay. Cod. It's okay. Because the thing with like cod and those types of fish are river fish. River fish, much more than ocean fish, don't really have a flavor of their own. They have the seasoning that you put on them. Right? So like a good cod, a good nice buttered cod with some like red pepper flakes on there and black pepper, it's spot on. But you know what I'm liking about it? The butter, the red flakes, and the black pepper. I'm not like, this fish is really good. Also, the seasonings are great. I'm like, these seasonings are fire, whatever it's on. All right, El Chef went dwarves. Ban wood elves, ogre kingdoms, and Skaven. Lenorm went dark elves. You don't like sushi? I do not like sushi. I know. I know I'm trash. I'm okay with it. You say that because you haven't had good sea fish? That's probably true. What food would you miss from Minnesota? I don't know. Probably not a lot. I guess we have pretty good breads. Yeah, we have pretty good breads. Nice buttered rolls. Usually really soft. Oh! Oh! But no, the Midwest isn't exactly known for food. We have like potatoes. Well, El Chef is saying he wanted to ban dark elves, not wood elves now. Okay. Now El Chef's being a bit of something. British food, boil or deep fry, your choice. Heresy unsubscribing. Oh. Super bummed they reverse changes from that. Super bummed they reverse changes from the beta. Yeah, it was charging, foot characters were reverted, chariots got reverted. Well, not reverted, they just never made it to live. Line of sight changes. Infinite rampage. Yeah. Dragon landing buff. All right, so El Chef, I'm just gonna say it. If you don't like it, don't be a dick. El Chef is kind of being an asshole right now. He's chief. So BBB chief ruled. This is a rule break, but it's very slight. I don't see any bad intentions that have affected the outcome of the game at all. So we're gonna let you guys continue playing. So then Chef, in response to that, pulls up a rule break that Lenorm supposedly did weeks ago, and is like, "You like a rule break? Look at this." And we're saying focus on the game, and El Chef's saying like, "Okay, men like you only cry," and all this stuff because he banned Wood Elves. Lenorm picked Dark Elves, and after Lenorm picked Dark Elves, El Chef said, "I meant to ban Dark Elves, not Wood Elves." And Lenorm's like, "I'm gonna play Dark Elves. You didn't ban it." This is some pretty terrible behavior. Honestly, really bad. So that's a shame. It's unsportsmanlike. Shouldn't do it. Shouldn't do it. Chef about to be in prison with Void? No, he didn't cheat. That's different. Like, Void cheated and was a douchebag. There's no cheating here. Just some salt. We haven't had good beef since Ice Power v Void. Dude, I don't miss dealing with the drama of Ice Power around. Or watching Marathi double Manticore 55 games in a row. But he did make things more spicy. Can't we all just be nice? No. What happened, Ice Power? Dude, I have no idea. All right. I present to you two bad options. Do you root for the Dark Elves? Or do you root for the Dwarves? You have to pick one. You have to pick one. Who do you choose? Who do you choose? What do you want, an unbreakable box of infinite mass and Thoric Ironbrow with Gotrek and Felix? Or do you want the Dark Elves who win all the goddamn time with their armor-piercing missiles and their Soul Stealer? Chaos always wins? There's no chaos here. There's no chaos here. So it is the new Malekith with boobs. Supreme Sorceress of Dark with Soul Stealer. And that's about it. We have Triple Shade, Blackheart Corsairs, Bleak Swords, Blackheart Corsairs, and Bleak Swords. Wow, that is the whole build. Oh, there we go. 4 Dark Shards as well, including the Bolt Fiends. Can land battles end in a tie? No, Dom can. Can Dom end in a tie? Oh, I suppose if you just both take a point at the same time, that's the only point that gets taken. Yeah. Maybe. Alright. That's fair long when it's a pain when players start breaking the rules intentionally. Now you have drama. It needs to be consistent. We also want to keep moving shit along. Every time I start playing Warhammer Multiplayer 3, I lost. You last 1 month. Oh, okay. Main, you just not enjoying the meta or how the units feel, or are you just burnt out in general? Because you've been playing for quite a while. Dean Shepard? Yeah. Leadership is generally too high across the board. All right. Dwarf Warriors, Dwarf Warriors, Dwarf Warriors. Then we have Miners with Blasting Charges, 4 of them. Dragonback Slayers, Dwarf Warriors are great weapons, Dwarf Warriors are great weapons. We have Flame Cannons, Thoric Ironbrow, Gotrek, and Felix. Tactical Itch, that's a good reference. That's a good reference. All right. Can the Dark Elves beat the Hero Hammer? We'll find out on this episode of Dragon Ball Z. Pew pew pew. Mick Rightface is starting some fights in chat with the very provocative it. Agreed. Hero Hammer, who would have guessed? Yeah. Mick Rightface, I did say it was an unpopular opinion that witch elves are supposed to be like these beguiling beauties, and to me they just look like super terrifying. I don't know, I'm reading the Malice Darkblade book right now, and they talk about how much they love witch elves and whatever, but they're weird looking. Maiden, that's fair. It does take a long time to get, like, really good. We're just following some shades around. I'm sure the Dwarven Cannon's actually in range, so we could watch it pelt some Druchii. Is it in range yet? Nope, still moving up. Pump those Dwarven legs. Pump it. Pump it. First shots are here. And they're good. Goodbye, little Druchii. Goodbye. Why are the Bloodrack Medusas so pretty? I think that's like their whole thing. They want you to look at them so then you turn to stone. Though I don't know if they actually do that in the Warhammer universe. That might just be our world. Are you saying terrifying ladies can't be attractive? I think they can be both, but for me they are not attractive and they are terrifying. But actually, you know what? Yeah, I don't know why I had to cow down to that. I'm not attracted to things that terrify me. That's not my cup of tea. Dark Shard's still advancing, trying to get the Dwarven lines. Meanwhile, a Flame Cannon is soon to come into range, right? Oh no, there it is. Flame Cannon and Cannons trying to punish them. Flame Cannons will wreck Dark Shards. Just wreck them. Ow. And the counterfiring from the Bolt Fiends has started. A bunch of Dwarf Warriors, and they have Shield Breaker, right? Yeah. Yeah, they do. So what does it do? Does it just downgrade you? Because it looks like these Dwarf Warriors now have bronze shields when the other ones have silver. Huh. I didn't realize it actually changes the little icon. Alright. Cannons still punishing these guys, and now the Flame Cannons have gotten in on it, and that's where you're going to see the Bolt Fiends just disintegrate away into nothing. You heard it here, human boy's afraid of hot women. Boop, 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 boop. And that burnt leadership debuff, plus the debuff from getting shot at by artillery, is going to make them rout, though routing incidentally makes them dodge a lot of the incoming fire. Elchef is going to push out his lines. There's no Dark Riders or anything that can really get in there and punish the cannons, so he doesn't need to keep the box super tight. He is just going to start marching out, keeping the Dark Shards out of range of punishing the cannons with their ranged attacks. And that'll give the Flame Cannon more time to strike. Which it's already turning to fire at some shades. Gonna get pretty good value on them if it hits. Yeah, they're hitting. They're hitting. Alright. We're living in the 21st century, dude. Maybe he loves plants, everything. What makes you happy? One of the shades is already routing off. The other two shades are running away. The Dark Elf Sorceress is currently helping some Black Arc Corsairs mow down the front line. And other Black Arc Corsairs are also trying to push through. The Dark Shards have seen much better days. Two of them are almost dead. Two of them are at half HP. The Shades, 2 full health, and 1 is about dead. And this other one is now getting attacked by the Flame Cannons. I don't know what it's going to do, because you can't really stop and shoot at the Flame Cannons in any effective amount of time, or it's going to get caught by these Dwarf Warriors. Though actually the Dwarf Warriors are busy doing other stuff, so it can stop and shoot. It looks like that is what it's going to go for. I wonder if one volley is going to be enough to even take this out, but the Black Arc Corsair screaming in is actually going to be pretty huge as well. And Supreme Sorceress of Dark is still just fighting Smiter's blasting charges. Oh, she's trying to keep these Black Arc Corsairs safe. Yeah, they're probably just going to throw on guard mode and fire at the Corsairs anyway. The Flame Cannon just straight up beats the Shades and pushes them back. Dwarves are demolishing the Dark Elves in value right now, as Murder's Prowess is just now popped. The Black Arc Corsairs are going to force path through onto the Flame Cannons. Now they will try to get over there and do something about it, but 2 of the Shades have already been routed due to such a thing. The last Shade is doing fine. Okay. Dark Shards get caught by Dwarf Warriors. Our Miner's actually behind them too, so it could be even tougher for them to get out of here. And another Dark Shard is caught by another Miner. Ouch. It is painful to lose those things in melee combat. The Flame Cannons survived the rush of the Black Arc Corsairs. It is just going to continue firing at Shades. The Shades are also getting shot at by a cannon. This is a brutal game for the Dark Elves. So the Black Arc Corsairs are doing okay on the front line. They're killing tons of stuff. The Dark Shards have been mostly getting run around. The Shades somehow ended up in melee combat. Looks like they had a range attack order onto something that was behind that front line. The Sorceress on our Dragon just decides to take things into her own hand, lands on the Flame Cannon, takes it out, but there is an entire Shade dead to that thing. And another Shade is moving. Now it's trying to fire at the cannon, while Black Arc Corsairs streak into Dwarf Warriors, as is their right. And this is going to bring the Dark Elves wildly back into the game. Taking out things with a lot of ammunition brings your gold damage value incredibly high up. And actually, the Dwarves have lost a lot of infantry in this time. You can see the Dwarf Warriors and Miners with all their health bars blinking. Now, it's not saying the Dark Elves have gotten away without a scratch. They definitely have taken a ton of damage. But the Dwarves have lost over half their force, while the Dark Elves actually still have above half. Dwarf Warriors get landed on by the Supreme Sorceress of Dark. And they rout. Cannon's still firing at the Dark Shards. The more Black Arc Corsairs are closing in. There's just not a lot of Dwarves around this area to actually defend this cannon anymore. Dragonback Slayers are off chasing Shades into the wilderness. Shades are technically faster, so as long as they keep running, they'll keep those Shades honest. And yeah. I feel like somebody mentioned it. I can't remember if it's on a video or on a stream recently, but somebody has been mentioning that Dwarves are getting a lot more popular recently. And I'm not super about it. Dark Elves don't have anything to kill the Dwarven Goon Squad. You'd be surprised what a Cycle Charging Dragon with Soul Stealer can do. Because she hasn't used, like, any Soul Stealers yet. So all those are waiting to go down, and they can heal her up to fuel even more Cycle Charging. But for now, she's probably going to go back and take care of these Miners out in the open, buy her Dark Shards some time to shoot over there, and just kill the Dwarven units for free, while the Shades are leading the Dwarves on merry chase. Dark Elves are back, clawing towards the middle of the balance power. And this Dwarf Warrior is going to get caught out by these Black Arc Corsairs, and if they stop and fight them, I imagine those Shades will turn around and deal with them in short order. Kind of reminds me of the Cal Harmon versus Caradoc Empire versus Dwarves game. Dark Elf Lady lands. Dark Shards continue to run, though some of their models are actually inside of the Dwarves, so I'm not sure if they're actually going to turn and shoot, or if they'll do that janky thing where they just don't turn and fire. Black Arc Corsairs getting some free shots on the back of the Dwarf Warriors as the Shades turn and fire at point-blank range into those Dwarf Warriors, doing a lot of damage to them, though will not kill them off. The Shades are about to take a charge. Nope, now the Dwarves recognize they're being attacked in the rear, stop, turn to deal with it, and that'll be the end of them. They'll get chased off. Dark Shards still trying to rally. Other Dark Shards still running from minus blasting charges. The Bolt Fiends running from these Dwarf Warriors with Bleak Swords coming to bail them out. And in the center, Gotrek, Felix, and Thork are all focused around this one Black Arc Corsair, but they already got what they wanted out of the deal. They routed off the cannon, wherever it is. I mean, it looks like it's just dead outright. Ooh, ah. At some point, these Shades stopped running, and that means the Dragonback Slayers caught them. And as soon as they caught them, they got the Dragonback slow. So, that's a bad time for them. So I just confirmed the next DLC will be for the Dowie. Oh, of course. Clearly, that's what happened. Dark Shards continue to run away from Miners. These Dwarf Warriors were routed off as Black Arc Corsairs go to chase down these... Oh, they don't want the Miners to blasting charges to come back. I see. And the Dark Elf Lady is still starting to route things. Dark Shard turns to fire at Miners chasing the other Dark Shard. As the Dwarf Warrior with great weapons rallies, that Shade might turn around and deal with them. Yeah, they will. They'll immediately just turn and fire. These Dark Shards are shooting at those Miners. Super close to breaking as the other miners are going to catch up to the Dark Shard. We still have all 3 breath attacks too, so having all 3 breath attacks, having all your Soul Stealers going into late game, that can be pretty scary for Gotrek, Felix, and Thoric. AC Maiden, what is that face meant to do? The Bolt Fiends and the other Dark Shard firing at the miners now. We've rallied even a 3rd Dark Shard. 4th. Yeah, 4th. All 4 Dark Shards are here. There's only 1 miner chasing them down at this moment. They get routed off. And at this point, this whole firing area is going to be secure because you have a Dragon Lord here that can chase off these miners. And probably what you want to do instead of chasing them is let them rally and just shatter them, because that's the 2nd time that guy's routed. This guy has 1 more route before he shatters. Just shatter him because it's not worth it to chase dwarves to the edge of the map. I don't approve of these Shades using their precious ammunition on some miners. I don't like it. I don't like it. Don't do it. What is that face supposed to communicate? What does it do? It's a dwarven face? Oh, okay. In the distance, Bleak Swords catch up to Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. I think the Bleak Swords win that? It's hard to tell. Has Murderous Mastery been popped for this army yet? Oh, yeah, it has. Okay, without Murderous Mastery, no idea. Probably the Dwarf Warriors win it at that point. Gotrek, Felix, and Dragonback Slayers have been reunited at last. Miners rout, giving the Dark Shards some room to move. There are more Shades coming in. Everybody's coming back together. Big right face. Think of them about Frodo in the last 20 minutes. Lord of the Rings. I do like the surprised alligator face. That's a good face. That's a good face. Dwarves attempting to rally, but it is not going to come to much as far as the stuff on this end. That won't matter. Bleak Swords fighting Dwarf Warriors in the distance, both sides taking considerable damage, also isn't going to matter. All that matters in reality is this fight. Blackheart Corsairs are pushed off. They'll come back in a second. They have positive leadership already, but the Shades are already starting to fire into the Dragonback Slayers. They're doing good. And I'm waiting for the Soul Stealer spam to start. I'm waiting for it. Shades stop and shoot at the Dragonback Slayers while more crossbows pour into them. Dwarves are down to 183 models versus the Dark Elves 500. And Shades look like they're just going to stand and fight. No, they are going to try and kite away, but I don't know. The Dwarves have started their charge animations, so they're going to catch them. They're going to slow them. I think the Shades probably were better off just fighting. Oh, the first attack on a Shade misses. And they are gonna start creeping away. Oh, they might do it. Meanwhile, Dark Shards stand and fight Thoric. He's trying to dodge a little bit. Gotrek's chasing up. It's fine. Yeah, there you go. The Shades are caught. They're dead as hell. They should probably just stop and fight. Other Shades, other Dark Shards coming to support. This Rune of Wrath and Ruin is going to rout off this guy most likely, and Gotrek's going to rout off that one. So we are about to lose 2 more Dark Shards to the ether. More Dark Shards firing at Thoric. He's doing his best to duck and weave, and duck and weave he actually shall. He's going to dodge him a lot. And now Gotrek's getting shot by this Dark Shard? Oh. Yeah, his low profile just means the Bolt Fiends end up taking more damage than anybody else. Shades are also firing in, but they're at so great a distance that they are mostly missing. And Dragonback Slayers still have to be dealt with. These Dark Shards are going to get caught by the Dragonbacks. So the Shades, yeah, the Shades are going to pivot and shoot at the Dragonbacks instead, try and save these other Dark Shards. Though I doubt it'll matter. Dragonback's getting pelted. This lady with her breath attacks and her soul stealers and her cycle charging probably is going to have to get a lot more aggressive, because clearly the range attacks aren't doing it versus Thoric. There's a soul stealer. She tries to stand as far away as possible to not get overcast damage from Thoric, and it does indeed work. But she's healing up, as we talked about previously with a different soul stealer, she's healing up like to way over max HP, so like half of the use of that spell is getting wasted, unfortunately. What's the Slayer's speed? These guys have 40 speed, but if they touch you, you get a debuff of minus 30% speed. Shades are falling away. They're running from Gotrek. And Felix. And Thoric. More Dark Shards are back. They're pouring fire into this area. The Dragonback Slayers are now getting inundated with random Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. I mean, Blackheart Corsairs, so they'll be fine. But what's the Dragon Lady going to do about this as Dark Shards continue to fire in on Thoric? They're actually firing at Felix. They're trying to take out the healer. Yeah, and the Dragon Lady lands here, so Gotrek has to turn around. That'll give the Shades room to fire, but also gets a nice shot onto Felix. So Shades are going to turn and fire, and they're also firing on Felix, and they're just trying to rout him at this point, because you can get rid of him, you can get rid of the Dwarven healing. Ooh, Felix takes big damage. Just as the Rune of Doom comes down, Supreme Sorceress Dark's starting to run away. Dragonback Slayers are entirely dead. So it is just the Hero Hammer. As Shades stop and shoot at Felix, more damage comes for him. The Dragon Lord is probably going to have to cycle charge yet again. Pretty good job targeting the Manling. And he only gets healing when in melee combat. So right now he's just taking a bit of poke from the Dark Shards. Where is she going? What's your plan? I don't know why the Dragon Lady's being so coy. Does Dwarven Hero Hammer win this? It wins more things than it should. But we'll see. Gotrek's trying to run down the Shades, and he is as fast as them. Soul Stealer's going to miss Gotrek, but it is going to hit Felix and Thoric. But mostly Felix is what they're trying to do right now. They just want to stop the healing before they commit to any melee shenanigans. But this will take a while? Yeah. It'll take a good long while. And, like, again, this dragon needs to be way more aggressive. She needs to be diving in here and sniping out Felix. And if Gotrek turns around, like, we saw the play earlier. We all know what the play is. Like, dive on Felix. Or Thoric. And if Gotrek turns around to duel you, your Shades turn around and get some shots off. See? Gotrek goes back to the formation. The Shades can turn and shoot. Single target shooting is worse in Warhammer 3. It wasn't that good in Warhammer 2, but yeah. I think largely. Shades turn to fire for a second. Hey, the Bleak Swords are back. They must have beat those Dwarf Warriors. They did. Alright. Dark Elves got this? Maybe. Balance power is starting to favor them. The Dragon Lady is considering her options as the Shades turn to fire at Felix one more time. Though he is running into their kins, there's going to be some friendly fire here. There's a Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Dark Elves start to run, but it's not going to be fast enough because that thing is like an instant cast, and it does go off. Dragon Lord charges in. I don't know who it was trying to attack with all three there. Thoric kind of blocks whatever you're trying to do, and she is just going to path through them. And the Shades are running again. I'm not liking this. The Shades had to take that opportunity to shoot, either at Thoric or at Felix or somebody, but they just spent their time running away, unfortunately. Shades are turning to fire at Felix yet again, and he's dodging. But the Dragon Lord's about to punish him. Yeah, everybody got too far out of position. So the Dragon Lord lands on Felix, doesn't actually hit him, then starts walking on him. Oh, and that's just a dragon issue. Yeah, it didn't land the charge attack, unfortunately. Shades are back. They're aiming at Thoric this time, and they are going to shoot at him. Let's see if he can dodge most of it. Soul Stealer also comes out. Thoric dodges a lot of the Shade Fire, but some does clip him. And Felix gets hit with yet another Soul Stealer, so does Thoric, and everybody's ignoring Gotrek for the moment. Dark Elves still have infantry scattered around the map, coming back to the fore. Felix is down to 500 HP, and he is charging into combat, which will give him some healing, but it also means he'll take some damage and might rout, and if he routs, he is dead. Shades get away from Gotrek, because Gotrek has to go back and support Thoric and Felix. Felix, -8 leadership. -26, he routs officially. And the Dragon Lord thinks about landing, decides she doesn't have to, and gets back up into the sky. So Felix is running now. Gotrek and I almost said Grombrindle. Gotrek and Thoric are trying to, like, kind of walk with him. But they can't do that. I think the Dragon Lord should just be hovering over Felix, rather than giving him the Black Arc Corsairs, because the Black Arc Corsairs proc his healing. That's a big mistake. Yeah, that is a pretty big mistake. The dragon just needs to fly over him. Because then again, if Gotrek and Thoric want to stop your dragon from landing on Felix, they're just going to get shot for free the entire time. And here we go. Here's a good punishment. So the Dragon Lord lands on Thoric, hits one attack, misses the second, but again, whenever Gotrek separates out, you just get the free little damage that you can. You poke him down. There's no more healing, so all your poke will hang with it. Black Arc Corsairs are successfully chasing Felix. Even if they're proccing his healing at this point, now Gotrek's not near enough by to rout them off. I was just worried they were going to rally. You know, the Corsairs rout and then the Gotrek rallies Felix, that kind of thing. Dark Shards are not punishing Thoric for this moment in melee combat. The Supreme Sorceress of Dark tries to land in. She misses yet another attack, and she is going to try and opt out. Gotrek gets a little bit of poke on her, but she overall gets away just fine. There's still a good amount of chaff. Felix is getting run off. And the Dark Elves are up on the damage value for like the first time this game, as Dark Shards are now poking at Thoric. This Dark Shard, I hope they don't even run away, because there's no chance they get out of here. Soul Stealer's going to hit both these guys as Dark Shards continue to try and fire at literally anything. Get a little bit of damage onto Gotrek, and the Shades are even charging back in. Bleak Swords are also coming in. This Dark Shard has a ton of ammo, so if you keep it safe, it can poke down Thoric over time. Quiasco El Dark Elf? I don't understand the question. Dragon Lord lands. And misses her charge attack yet again. Rune of Doom is popped, giving these guys both some fear, which does affect the Dark Elf troops. And actually, this Dark Shard is going to hang in there. He might get one last firing line onto Thoric Ironbrow. Maybe, if they can make up their minds about shooting. There they go. They are firing, getting big damage onto Thoric. Ooh, that is a nice Rune of Doom cast. Not Rune of Doom. Rune of Wrath and Ruin. That'll finish off that Dark Shard. Oof. Other Dark Shards hanging in there, still fighting, still strong. I don't know why this Dragon Lord keeps going that far away from them. Is it just when she's trying to Soul Steal her? She wants to go that far away so she can... See, I don't know. There are some pretty long jaunts off into Nowheresville for that dragon. Why is Gotrek a hero in a custom battle anyway? Oh yeah, because he's supposed to be a lord, right? Well, he's a lord in campaign. Even though that makes very little sense. Dragon cycle charge. Dragon lands, misses the charge attack yet again. Might have hit the follow-up. Honestly, wasn't looking at the health bar at that exact moment. And she is going to walk away. More Black Arc Corsairs join into the fight. Dark Shards are walking away, but presenting their back to an enemy might just get them to rout all over again. Gotrek and Felix should be removed from multiplayer? Maybe. Maybe they should. Maybe they should. Dragon sitting above, gonna hover for a bit. Yeah, let's add them to more factions. Oh wait, that triggers Overcast? Yeah, breath attacks, anything trigger Overcast. Though you actually do still have 2 breath attacks left, but you might as well use them. Dark Shard's getting run down while they're shooting at Thoric. Does anybody know why this caster keeps going so far from the fight when they back off? Like, I don't understand that far. Breath attack triggers the miscast for Thoric, yes. Like, where does she keep going? Are we having that bug where, like, she tries to run to the edge of the map? No, this time he was actually just getting away to throw down a Soul Stealer, and he didn't even get far enough away because it still hit him. Army Losses is taking Thoric, so now you can ignore Thoric and pour all of your chaff into Gotrek and Cycle Charge with the Dragon, and this should be over. Should. Okay, where are you going now? Like, why the circling? I don't understand the circling. I'll ask Lenorm after, but why the circling? Jesus Christ, 21 minutes? Yeah, that's Hero Hammer for you. Dragon overshoots its charge. And is going to walk away and redo it because it doesn't want to just sit next to Gotrek and die. I wonder if he even has any Soul Stealers left at this point. He's used like 3. 3 hour best of 5 cast? Yeah. It's been a lot. Bump. Dragon lands, misses the first attack, hits the second one onto Gotrek, and then opts out. Misses the charge attack yet again. That landing attack just like never hits. And opts out. Gotrek is doomed at this point. There is no way he wins this. I mean, maybe if he gets his heal. Okay, maybe. Though that thing like never works. It would be hilarious if it worked this time and won him an entire game. All right. Landing again. Misses the land again. Staggers out of its first swing. Chef should just end it. What the fuck? Well, that's been a whole thing, hasn't it? Gotrek gets hit by the charge this time. Gets hit by the attack, and his heal goes off, but doesn't actually heal him as per usual. And we are waiting on one attack from the Dragon Lord to hit. There it is, and Lenormand will take the series. And Gotrek has a heal. Yeah. Like, if he got his heal, that could legitimately have turned things. But it almost never works, is why I was so, like, pessimistic about it happening. Yeah. Also, strat game, there's some context. Alright. Dwarf Warriors got mostly murdered. Minus the blasting charges. Did fine-ish. But it was mostly down to the Hero Hammer. Hero Hammer and the Flame Cannon. Sorceress of Dark, 2,400. Shades, ooh, rough value except for the one that actually lived to the late game. On the other side, Bleak Swords, Black Arc Corsairs did fine. Dark Shards didn't do as well as you would think. But, GG. GG. Corsairs did more than fine. Did they though? Did they though? All right. That'll be Lenormand advancing. So GG, well played. I am off. I have to go start preparing dinner, so... Also, I'm strangely tired. I need caffeine, I think. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for the cast. Thanks, Strat Game. You're always so generous. More generous than I deserve.